Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Welcome back to another Blue Morning Show. Welcome back to another Chelsea Transfer Watch Show. We have quite a lot lined up. We'll talk about Gvardiol, Porro, Joao Felix signing, where he fits in the team, Marcus Thuram, the possibility again, and then Modric, which I think Arsenal are again are the better positioned a club to sign the player. And we'll talk Enzo Fernandez a celebration. Quite a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, and I hope you're ready with it. So more importantly, blue morning to you because in fact it is the Blue Morning Show, and as usual, we get to look at what we have in the chat. And one interesting thing, I shared the show on again on Twitter, the link, it turns out I used the wrong link. Why? Because when I looked to confirm the links were correct, I was looking at just the two last letters and I didn't pay attention that they're not the same. But that's by the way, we move on from that. I'm a human being after all. Blue morning, Kachila panel and chat. Blue morning to you too, Liam Lane. I appreciate you finding time to join the show as always. Yes, people, if you're just joining as usual, the captain of the house is saying, yeah, please, again, like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel grow and reach a wider audience. So keep liking the stream, guys. Again, I'll try. Again, there's something I always want us to tell us. Please, if you're putting something in the chat, make sure it is aligned with the current topic that we're talking about. Because going back and forth, switching between topics, that can be exhausting. But if we keep it aligned, then I don't have a problem reading it the whole day till tomorrow. I'd be happy to do so. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here. Um, what's it gonna expect me tracks? I will be listening while walking. I have already smashed the like button. Thank you so much, brother. Already we have 26 likes. It looks like we're gonna get it again to we'll break a record today. So if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, the likes do go a long way, and I appreciate all the support. It looks like we're gonna hit 8,000 subscribers in a few days. Right now we're at 7,880, and that's not easy. That's because of you. I appreciate all that. Okay, bro. Yeah, bills don't pay themselves. Be safe at work and make sure you don't get into trouble. Enzo's celebration could mean a thank you, and I am off. Okay, that is again. I like your faith, really. But we'll get to that in a bit. Excuse me for the cough. Francis Winters says, big up to you too, brother. I saw you trying to communicate with the panelists when the automated stream was on. But thank you. I appreciate all the support. And even though when you realized that was the case, you stayed and still, again, tried to chat up the Charles. Let's have it right. Exactly. Let's have it right. And I hope you guys are all doing well. And the poll I have here asking just to find out which medium suggests people to the channel. Twitter 9%, Facebook 13%, YouTube video suggestions 61%. That's where a lot of people came from. YouTube search is 17%. Wow, okay, it's balanced, but I'm missing Facebook now, which is 13% because I had the wrong link. I can't do again. Come and join. We're live. Come join us. But maybe when I get some panelists on, I get the chance to do that. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, I knew exactly what I'm doing. I just asked people first. I leave the link. Let me do the introduction and again a bit of talking before I send the link proper. If you pay attention, that has always been, you can say, how I do it every day. So that's by the way we move on. Let's get to the links. What we have lined up here. Always again, Twitter helps us to organize it even better. We'll start with this one. Say Chelsea and Manchester United are among the clubs interested in Southampton's Kyle Walker-Peters. A player is keen on a move, not mentioning a particular club. So whatever club that comes for the player he goes to. To me, as much as I know, he's done quite well, and and I think, excuse me about the cough. And I think I know the game, one single game in particular, again, that got the Chelsea fans talking. I think it was against Manchester City where he took about two players on or a player on and scored a brilliant goal. My argument is that it is still that same game that got the Chelsea fans talking. To me, I'm a bit skeptical as to whether he's Chelsea quality, as whether he'll be the guy, that again give Reece James the competition he needs to get him to become an even better player, or if James gets injured, we'll have another player who's capable of, again, fulfilling the role for us to a measure that equals that of Reece James' output, or maybe do even better than him. I don't think he's the guy, but maybe we're just going up for someone, again, just again, to just to help us get through the season, and maybe we'll look for a more suitable or a better option. But I don't want that to continue happening at Chelsea Football Club, really, if you get my point. And Tabaho says, hey, coach, again, you're getting old. You didn't send the link. I knew exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to say that again, but that's funny. I send it first, and then I hold on a bit after the introduction because I don't want the panelists to come on again, and then I'll be talking for a while and they won't talk. That has always been the pattern if you paid attention. I can actually send them both at the same time. I know exactly. I send them and I'll leave the link there. And then in a bit, I'll send it. When I get to a point where I need someone that I'll ask questions to get, again, you can say differing opinions. But yeah, but I get it. Yeah, I'm not getting younger. I'm getting old too. Yeah, big up people. Taboho, not much love, brother. And if you haven't, please take a second to go check Taboho's YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and tell him I sent you, because one day I hope to see myself in the Madiba land. I have my brother there. No problem. Okay. Yeah, I know if I explain, you won't understand. But that's, by the way, we'll move on to this one. But I'm not going to close this link because I want to get the opinion of the panelists as to whether Kyle Walker-Peters is a player that they want to see at Chelsea Football Club. To me, I don't think it's the quality we should be looking at. There are other better players, if you ask me. But let's see, again, when somebody comes in, I will switch to that to ask them. Again, and it's clear, it's become Chelsea are interested in Kyle Walker-Peters, according to my friend Pies. But let's see what happens. I will get people's opinion. I think I should ask the chat, actually. But I want this poll that asks the question how people find us. I want it to last for a while. And please, if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second, again, to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You see that thing that breaks my heart. We have, again, 62 votes already on the poll, but we have just 30 likes, just about half of it. So we should be doing better with the likes, people. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And again, I checked also, it turns out a lot of my subscribers, I think number one is Nigerians, my Niger brothers. Again, the United States, the UK, there's Kenyans, Zambians, and I appreciate you all for that support. But I couldn't be prouder, again, they're my birth country are my biggest supporters. That makes me happy. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. Hi, Taboho, saying hi to you too. Chelsea announced a Felix now. Have they? Oh, okay, I want to put that up. Let me check. Okay, I'll open it up. Again, I really want to see that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Good afternoon to you too. And again, big up reportedly today have said, again, if Chelsea lose to Fulham, Potter could be sacked. Wow. Reports the Potter could be sacked. Poch has said he will take the job. Again, it's on Team Talk. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm seeing Joao Felix here announced. I'm saying again, Potter, as much as what's his name, Pochettino, I like him, but he's not going to be my first choice. But the truth is, who else is out there that I would trust to come be the man to get the job done for us? I think there's no other, again, that's capable of doing what he's doing. He's a good manager. You could argue that his problems at Tottenham was just that, again, what's his name? Just that Daniel Levy wasn't willing to spend enough to get him the players he wanted to do better than he did. And he was still able to achieve a lot. Nearly, on two occasions, you could say nearly he was close to winning the league. Plus, again, he got to the final of the Champions League without Daniel Levy spending that much money. So I give him credit. I would take Poch, really. Poch is an intelligent manager. So there's that argument that had he worked for a club that will get him the players that he'd do better because he's shown look what he was able to achieve at Spurs with the players he had. They don't have too many good players, really, for being honest. But that's, by the way, the truth remains, he's not my first choice. If we had other choices, Poch would not be my first choice. But right now, I think he's better than what we have. Maybe at PSG, the problem was that, again, the big name players weren't really playing for him or don't trust him because they believe he hasn't won anything. But we'll move on from that. Yes, again, the man has been announced, and believe me, blue looks really good on him. And we'll get to talk about more about other aspects as to why he signed the new extension. I'm not hearing we really wanted to buy him. We really wanted an option to buy him because he's a player who scouted for a while, would like him. But I'm happy he's here. I know a lot of Chelsea fans aren't happy. Even if he ends up being just for 6 months, that experience that he played for us, because believe me, he will produce. The question is, will Potter know how to bring out the best in him? I would say play him centrally. That's when you get the best out of Joao Felix. But we'll move on from him. I will still come back to bringing him up when I have people on the panel to ask them their thoughts. I'm happy he's here. He will make a difference. Believe me, just use him correctly. Just don't turn to another what's his name? Don't turn to another Diego Simone on him. That would be problematic for us. So thank you. I'm happy. And this again, like I said, they will give him time, but giving him time doesn't mean that we'll watch him run the club to the ground and not do anything. They will do something really. This one just got notification from Chelsea. Felix being announced. Yep, congratulations to us. We got our man. And it doesn't. The fact that there isn't a buy clause on the contract doesn't mean we will not have the opportunity to try to buy him at the end of his loan spell at the club. If we want to buy him, speak with him. If he enjoys life again in London and wants to stay, Atletico will have no option than to sell him. But the difference is now they have him on a longer contract, a term contract before the loan was signed. So now it'd be difficult to get him on a cheap. He will still be very, very expensive. So smart move from them. And the concerning aspect of the whole thing is that he signed the contract in a hurry because he was just in a hurry to join us. He really wanted to join us. But hopefully we'll find a solution. He's a player I'd like at the end of his loan spell at the club for us, again, to try to keep him. We'll move on from that one. Let me see what we have in the chart. Salman Abdurrashid. Malo Gusto is the guy. James-esque can defend and attack. I have to be honest, I hate pretending I know players. I don't know him very well, but maybe I need to research him. But again, if in fact what we're hearing in the media is the truth regarding the relationship between Joao Felix and Pedro Porro, we don't want that animosity in the dressing room. As much as it'd be easy to say, oh, that it doesn't matter, they'll sort it out. I think it's a problem, really. We don't want another Wembridge. Is it Wembridge, John Terry? We don't want another that sort of situation again. Especially new players that's coming into the club that you don't want. You don't want to have animosity between them. It can be, it can cause again friction in the dressing room, and I don't want that to happen. EJ Benjamin, let me know again if you're in the chat. Please just take a second to let us know where you're watching from. Again, oh my goodness! As much as I love you guys supporting the channel, as much as I understand some of you are watching. And again, watching and enjoying the show, I appreciate that. That provides value. But the likes do go a long way. If you're in the chat, again, do the mathematics. Let me know why we have 75 votes and we have just 34 likes. We should be doing better than that, people. Come on, please. Take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chelsea FC should go and bring Eden Hazard back. He needs to bring it. We need to bring him back to the bridge. It's a somewhat controversial topic. Some say he's done. Don't bring him back. And there's a chance the club earn more money the more he wins at Madrid. Maybe the only time the club would want to go for him is if he wants to leave Madrid and he's coming back to the Premier League. It would make sense for the club to go for him and again make sure he comes to us and not to any other Premier League club. But we don't want to see Ronaldo 2.0. And I don't think that will happen because he's not an egotistic player. If he's one right now, I think he'd push Madrid to give him game time. He's not a selfish individual. He's always played for the team. He only, help again. Again, he helps again take the game by the scruff of the neck. Only when things don't go the team's way, that's when he tries to pull the rabbit out of the hat on its own to help the team win games. So I don't think if he comes with see Ronaldo 2.0 in terms of what happened when he went back to Manchester United, Hazard is not that player. But I think more importantly, if he makes more money for the club by playing for Madrid and they win stuff, that will go along with. Please, again, keep it the line, keep it the line, keep it the line. Good morning, people. I woke up at six. I woke up 6 seconds to see that Joao Felix is a blue. Immediately came here. Come on, you Blues. Yep, let's celebrate that one. It's not easy, really, but we'll take it. 6 months, yeah. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to sign him on a permanent because if he enjoys himself, he will not be willing to go back to Atletico Madrid, especially if Diego Simeone remains at the club, because his biggest issue on Madrid is the negative approach again to football that we see day in day out from Diego Simeone. You could say Joao Felix should be again a Ballon d'Or contender had he played under a manager that's more attacking minded than Diego Simeone. But we'll see whether Graham Potter gives him the opportunity. We need Enzo. But we get to talk about that. Hi, Coach. Why Enzo celebration? Did you not see that? We will talk about that because some people are still skeptical that it doesn't mean anything. But do I think that's it after that celebration that he's not coming to us? I don't know. Very risky going for Pedro Porro. Yeah, it's very risky. I know some will say it doesn't mean anything. It is very, very risky indeed. Dalo, Mamodu is super. Yeah, super indeed. Don't make sense to go Felix on loan with no buy option. Help rebuild game and value for this loan to be a success. Chelsea has to win UEFA Champions League or make top four. Otherwise, this is a wasted deal. It's no wasted by no means. If we don't have him, we're worse off. If we have him, he's part of, again, he becomes part of the solution. Plus, we need to sign other players. Him alone, just as, again, my friend Josh said on Twitter, yeah, we're getting, what player was this? Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. If we get, was it Enzo? I think he was talking about Felix too. It doesn't solve all our problems. So he's part of the solution. So that's what Felix is. At least even if it is for 3 months, as long as he helps us turn things around again for the good, I'll take it. Why bring back a man past again his prime? We drained him. Maybe you could say that Madrid always wanted him fit. And apologies to this, again, a participant here. I can't read what you have on the screen. I wish I could. I'd gladly read it. So that's by the way I'm moving from it quickly since I don't know what you wrote. The worst as Chelsea side ever in history. Do you think so, really? Some people are saying there are other worst Chelsea side. But that's by the way. Tabeho, you wanted to say something. Go ahead again. Shoot for it, brother, while I take care of something quickly.
Yeah, to be honest, from my side, I think all three parties will be happy. Atletico Madrid will be happy for the sake of Felix. Chelsea will be happy. He can sort out our short-term problems at the moment. And then also Felix will be happy so that he can play for another team just to express himself because he never had a good relationship with Simeone. And then again, coach, some of our fans say they want Simeone at Chelsea. Like, really?
No.
Simeone?
I will pay someone in London to help organize a riot. Why do we want Diego Simeone? Yeah, are we going for? Are we progressing? Or are we depressing? How is the wife versus what the opposite of that word in particular? It does look, as much as I know, will be hard to beat. But I think from a branding perspective, will become again. I don't know what team I should be referencing. Even Jose Mourinho, as much as I think Mourinho isn't progressive enough, Mourinho is more progressive than Diego Simeone. Really, if we're being honest, I don't want him at my club. Really, look at him. This player actually clearly, Joao Felix wanted to leave Atletico Madrid because of the negative approach we see day in day out from Diego Simeone. I wouldn't for any reason want him at the club. Just quickly, Tabaho, let me get your thoughts on this one, that we want Kyle Walker-Peters. Is he a player you like? Again, and if you're in the chat, let me know. We've switched topics right now, but quickly, let me catch up with what you have. But from then on, please try to align whatever you're putting in the chat to what we have up here in the screen. The next topic, again, we'll still come back to Felix because we want to know where he fits. We want to know whether there's still a chance to sign him on a permanent. Let me catch up with what you have inside. I want to get Tobago's opinion on Kyle Walker-Peters, and if you're there, let me know if you think he would be a good signing for us. To me, I don't really want him at Chelsea. Really, I don't think it's Chelsea level. I don't think he will put light on Reece James is behind to do even better. Mudryk is better for Chelsea. He is very good at ball and has a speed, but they're two different profile of players. Again, Mudryk is specifically a specialized left-wing player, whereas Felix can play centrally as a 10, he can play as an 8, he can play on the left, on the right, he can play as a second striker. But more importantly, as a second striker or as a 10, that's when you get the best out of him because he's got good vision. If Felix performed well, we will be forced to pay close to 100 million for him, and I wouldn't mind. He's just 23. Because we've been hearing his name since 2019 or so, 2018. You think if you don't remember, you think it'd be 26, 27, but he's still just 23. Yeah, again, a stupid deal with no. That's how you see it. Okay, that's up to you. Edge Benjamin, there's no player that will come to Chelsea FC to change the Chelsea FC dilemma other than Michael Hazard. Again, bring him back. Please, again, the fans are missing him. When we get to that, we'll talk about that. So let me ask you how Felix will help Chelsea in 6 months get a top 4. How long does the season have left? That's about it, about 6 months left. And he's capable of helping us turn things around. It's not about him. He's part of the solution. Again, the players that define the solution we're trying to implement to help us, again, by the end of the season, be in a better position. It's not about Felix. We're still going to make some signings too. Would you do a cash player for Enzo? I think Benfica would be tempted with money. Yeah, even with a player, I think they would. I would do cash plus a player, yeah, but I'm not going to name any player. Is there a way we can call him? Aziz, there's a way. We'll always welcome new panelists. You can come message me via Twitter, but the rule is we have to see your face for at least 1 minute, so that it's on record. We have some horrible situations where some people join the panel intentionally. Turn the sound and a picture for pornographic material that got the channel shut down for a while. We don't want that to happen. United have been making this kind of a short-term splash signing to appease fans. To us, it has really worked for us, but it's not like, no, this isn't to appease fans. This is really to solve a problem we have. Walker Peters is not good enough for us as a club. That's what I'm saying. If anything, he's going to be more like our backup, and if he gets injured, we're in trouble. No buy option. It's a holiday, basically. No, it's not. I think it was done in a hurry because other clubs are interested. We need a world-class manager, Chifudoka, if you think so. I'm so happy for Joao Felix. I'm happy we'll have him. If Felix was registered before 12 p.m. today, he can play tomorrow right now. I think there's nothing will hold back his registration. He's a Portuguese international and have played more games for Portugal, a lot. And again, he's an exceptional talent also. You know my stance on Jorginho, coach. I know. Chelsea, I know. So that's why you're suggesting he'd be the guy to make up to sweeten the deal for Enzo. Chelsea is now buying everything in the market and are still in trouble. Let's see what happens. We Chelsea fans complain of everything. Our negativity is something else. I think it's a toxic culture, really. But that's, by the way, Tobeho, let's talk about Walker Peters. And please, if you're in the chat, let your subsequent contributions be aligned with whatever we're talking about. And again, people, please, even if you're watching and you're not commenting, please take a second. Do take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Again, I appreciate that. And here is my brother CFC for him. Nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you. Just quickly, let me say hi to Fahim. I think Fahim is the fastest growing YouTube channel, Chelsea YouTube channel. He's probably approaching 100,000 subscribers right now. And again, but I'm still going to say it anyway because some of you don't know his channel. I'd like him to share the link to his channel so that you can go check it out and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's help him get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That would make me really, really happy. He's a brother I love so much. Again, one of the nicest people you ever see. Someone said, again, complain. I'm here to complain even further. Happy with the Felix signing. I am excited, brother. I must let you know. I hope you know. I know you know I'm happy about that. Again, so you go ahead, Tobago. You talk about Kyle Walker Peters.
First of all, Coach, I'm happy that you finally found your man, Joao Felix, because I said it before, Coach will be happy if you sign Joao Felix. So, and again,
I've always said I prefer. Yeah, go ahead. I've always said I prefer him to Leao for obvious reasons because we need more creators. We don't need more wingers. But go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And regard with Kyle Walker Peters at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure he's the answer, but let's wait and see what is the club plan, to be honest. But again, for me, Kyle Walker Peters is not the answer because he has some injury problem also. So I was thinking about the player like if in the Premier League, I'll go for Matty Cash, a kind of a player. I don't know the moment. We'll just wait and see. And then also with Pedro Porro, for me, no. I like the player, but no. Juju, what him and Felix had previously. We don't want to talk about it here. So I don't want a toxic relationship at Chelsea, especially when he signed a new top talent that he wants to prove himself that at Atletico Madrid he didn't get what he needed. Hopefully he'll be successful at Chelsea. And also again, I feel like from the start of the season of Grandpa, he was doing well until he lost some certain players due to injuries. And that's where he lacked new ideas and stuff. So hopefully he can fix that thing and then we move forward.
Yeah, it will be a huge risk. Again, as good as Porro is, as much as many players I would like to have him at the club. Again, anything that has to do with someone's relationship and all that, I think things can turn sour. Things can go down south immediately. Even for either of the two players, knowing that the other player is in the club, it will turn toxic because some of them will start talking to others. Look what happened. Look what he did. It becomes a huge risk. I don't want that to happen. So you make a good point. I don't want them both. I think we should move on from Porro, but again, I must say it doesn't look like actually we're serious about Polo or Porro. How do you say it? We're not serious. Everything that we've heard is Tottenham being the only club that want him, and I'm not surprised really. But that's by the way. We'll move on from that. Just quickly, let me see what else we have here. I'm going to try to catch as much as we can. Again, the topic right now is about Kyle Walker-Peters. Do you want him at Chelsea? If you're not talking about Kyle Walker-Peters, I'm going to skip your contribution because you're going to get me exhausted as soon as possible. But I'm going to make an exception right now from 1, 2, 3, 4, how many contributions, as many as I can get. But if subsequent comments enter by Kyle Walker-Peters, I will skip him. Chelsea has a lot of good players, but there are, again, not only, for the manager, we need a class manager. If you feel so, I know Chelsea is trying to cook something, but Potter is not right coach for that. Even if Chelsea bought him all good players in this planet, wow, that is some comment right there. I am with the transfer so far. Felix is a good buy. It's a good, signing, or maybe. Divine World TV, it's a good signing. At least a good creator. He's a fine creator. That's why I've always preferred him to Leao, because our main problem right now isn't the wingers. Big up, smash the like button, people. How many likes do we have right now? I was going to say we're shameless, really, but I can't talk like that to people who are supporting the channel. But it's not fair that we have 102 votes on the poll and have just 49 likes. Please, if you're watching, even if you're not participating in the chat, take a second to drop a like on the stream, like the video. The likes do go a long way. But again, what I'm seeing in the poll is quite interesting. So a lot comes by YouTube suggestion, and Facebook 14%, 17% Twitter, YouTube search 17%. So yeah, I know where to take seriously right now. All matter. Again, I don't know what is wrong with some of our supporters. Everything they will complain. We need new players, and if we got some, we're from this kind of noise. Again, it doesn't make any sort of sense. We want solutions, and believe me, you can say Joao Felix will be a huge part of that immediate solution that we're looking for. I don't know why some people are complaining. Mudryk and Enzo, all we need to Chelsea now. Mudryk, I don't think it's a difficult one. I don't know if we're even actually still talking with Shakhtar Donetsk, but we'll find out. The deal, I just feel like we're being punished by a mafia boss for embarrassing his client. The man has more clients than Riola even had. Boehly was scared of pissing him off. You think so? Let's see, Enzo deal is on. You can say still on, but we'll get to that in a bit. Man, I cannot take it. Felix plays well. We all fall in love with his game. And then again, Todd says he's too expensive, like Enzo. Okay, is that where your concern is? To me, he's an excellent signing for us, but we'll get that in a bit. Please keep your subsequent contributions aligned with the talk about Kyle Walker-Peters so I don't get exhausted. Okay, no problem. I get that. Again, a coach, again, Felix, again, someone in the attack is going to be benched finally. Don't name names, just leave it there. Let it be up to the manager. What else do we have here? Let me see. Again, buying good players is not it's not a problem. We need a good coach. If you feel the same, Coach Kyle Walker-Peters, be okay backup. You see, but I don't want backup. Again, because if you say we're getting him on a temporal basis, then at one point when we get somebody who can be a good competition for Reece James, then we have another deadwood, because then he'd be again he's not going to be a valued member of the team. He'd just be sitting on the pitch.
Better, coach.
Yeah, we don't do backup. We don't. Again, we want starters that will fight again. So I'm going to end this poll. 114 likes, but just 61 likes. Please, guys, we can do better than that. Let's get it to 100 likes at least. Since we have 114 votes on the poll, we should be doing better than this. I'm going to end it again, but I learned quite a lot from that to know where to focus my promotions. Todd B, again, why Lord? Why is it going to be Todd B? He's a good player. We're locking someone there. Again, since James is not available. Okay, is that how you see the players at Chelsea are not good enough for Chelsea because they don't want to give 100% each week? Okay, if you see that. So I'm going to scroll scroll past quite a lot of stuff we have in the chat there. Please keep it aligned. We're talking about Kyle Walker-Peters right now. If you're taking me back and forth of topics, it can be exhausting. Not going to lie, Walker-Peters would be a good buy. Plus, he is quite cheap. But is he that good? Can he compete with Reece James? Or is he just a player that whenever Reece James is fit, he gets to start and Walker-Peters sits on the bench? That's what we don't want. Nothing wrong with Peters. He's trying his best with this. Okay, Potter, he's trying his best with these limited players. Okay. Please, just sack Potter now. Potter is not good enough. Yeah, it's not up to me, Jackson. And I'm not going to say what I would do if it was up to me, but I get it. Kyle Walker-Peters is not Chelsea type, but we can take him if we don't have options. But we still have time to sign, again, a good options to compete with Reece James, be a rotational player with him. And by the way, we don't use the term backup here. You're going to get banned. Would go for Porro instead, to be honest. But here's the issue with Porro. I saw a meme online showing Joao Felix and Porro together in a picture. Again, scenes when Joao Felix sees Porro in the lineup, or if they see each other at Chelsea, they have you can say a triangular relationship problem that got serious. I'm not going to go into this. We're here to talk football, and something like that is usually serious. It can cause it can cause a friction in the dressing room, because once we sign them both, they all will make friends, and they all will start to talking to their friends what the other person did, because I'm sure the players are hearing about all this. So it's a huge risk to sign them both. And from what I'm saying, I don't think we're serious about Porro. Forget about the hijack, everything you're hearing in the media. It's all nonsense. And big up to my brother, Mykhailo. Nice to see you, brother. Again, a big up, Blues. Joao. He's a player I love so much. I will take a Kyle Walker-Peters if he has no recurring injuries. Record again, else pass. Okay, you think he's good enough to compete with James? That's what I'm asking. But I get your argument there. Let's see what we have. Todd is going to keep spending until Chelsea start winning. He's not going to change the starting 11 within 2 years. That's not possible. It gets worse if you do that. And big up to my brother, Bobby Fairview. Big up, Kachila. Is it true that Felix has more yellow cards than assists? I will check that in a bit. Thank you. Let me highlight this so I don't forget. I will look at that when we start talking about Felix. They are welcome.
That's
okay,
correct.
Again,
that's correct.
That's correct. Yeah, probably. Because Diego Simeone is trying to get him to be Matic,
yes,
or maybe N'Golo Kante. That's probably the reason. Blame the players again for not going there. And if you ask me, I'd say
exactly.
that shows a beat that is aggressive, and that's what he needs to survive in the Premier League. But the yellow card, mainly in this case, it's reflective of how negative Diego Simeone wants to play, and a player like Joao Felix, who's not you could say he's not defensively. Again, the defensive aspect of of the game is not his strongest suit. Will often opt to fight again forward player because again the art of defending or tackling isn't really his thing. He's being forced to learn that. That again, that's by the way, I will move on from that. But I get it. It's a good argument that. Good morning, good afternoon, Chama, Joseph Nwanne. Chama, you and I have a fight. You blamed me. You said I was happy Thomas Tuchel was fired. So we have a fight, but I'm going to reserve it for another day. I blame again. I love the boys. Again, I love them. Again, you wouldn't hate them. They play for Chelsea. So again, the only thing you can do is support them to help them do well. Same fans again wanted TT out. Now they want Potter out. Yeah, again, I'm not going to go into that. But please, again, refrain from calling people dumb. They are entitled to their respective opinions. We'll all see things from different lenses. If you're watching, please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we need 29 more likes to get it to 100 likes, and we can do that. No, again, a lot said again about Walker Peters. I would take on the 17 players at right back, like anyone that has legs and a pass. So bring him. Okay. Let's see that. Walker Peters, how old is he really? Walker Peters is not it's not it for me. Again, not Chelsea level that we want. We need a starter caliber type of player. Yeah, exactly. That can challenge Reece James. Yeah, or be a rotational player. It's as simple as that. We need again better players at Chelsea, each position. Again, competition, at least two starting players in each position. That will go along with between. We need a good manager, guys. He has to go back to that. Okay, just quickly, come on, bro. Kyle Walker-Peters can become a good prospect. Just look at Ramirez, a draw by Kevin, De Bruyne, Mo Salah. Before we signed Ramirez, we knew how good he is. Before we signed Drogba, we knew how good again he was again in France. De Bruyne, we knew again he's a prospect, but isn't he younger? How old is Kyle Walker-Peters, by the way? I want to know. Okay, and Chama Joseph Nwanne says, guys, again, like the stream at 62, and we have more than 130 people
27,
watching.
28, 7.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not that young anymore. He's not longer a prospect. We should be doing better than 77, like 23 more to get it to 100. Let's get it there. And thank you so much. And you should listen to Chama. I therefore again to not buy a right and a classy right back, but blow millions on a useless loan that only benefits Atletico. If he does that again, I swear that fans will want his head on a stick. Here's the thing: watch out, Felix would do well. So I like it. It's not like we've paid hundreds of millions for him, and that he's under pressure to produce an output that will measure again, be valued enough to measure that would say, okay, that measures how much we're paying for. We're not paying that much for him. I'd say Lamptey is better competition for Reece James. Yeah, former Chelsea player too. Maybe we'll see again. I'd rather Livramento. I think Livramento is a more complete player than Lamptey is. You can say Lamptey lacks defensively, but attacking wise, he's a brilliant option. But Livramento has both. Livramento can defend, he can attack. But I haven't heard about him for a while. Is he injured? I don't know. Todd should have again bought a midfielders. Yeah, let's see what happens again. Right now, it looks like I'm going to stop talking for a while and bring in Eddie, your thoughts on Kyle Walker-Peters? Is he a player you would want to see at Chelsea? Do you think he's good enough for the club? And good morning to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Coach. Well done. Tobago, hi, Tobago. He's still there.
Yeah, he's gone, but I think he'll come back. His connection fluctuates.
All right, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Walker-Peters. You see, every player we are linked with this time, we need to be very careful. We don't just jump at any player. Just as you said, we don't back up. We need somebody that will compete, that is equally, if not nearly as good as closely as good as what we have. At least we know, just like what Man City is doing, they have a backup or whatever, the second player, set of players on each in every position. So because if we are signing players because we just want to sign, that's not good enough for us. And there is no way we can judge a good player based on the amount, his transfer amount. Some players are there that will be 10 million, and you see they might be better than those that will say they want, like, we could have some right backs or right wing backs that are better than even Dumfries But we tend to go based on the price tag of player to think this player should be good. So we don't have to look at that. Kyle Walker-Peters at a point made the England squad. So he's a good player. But I don't know how good he is to be somebody that will threaten Reece James. It's hard anyway in this modern time to find any right back in the whole world that will actually threaten Reece James. But we should have somebody that is ready to step in and step in well if and when Reece James gets in or needs to be rested, kind of, that will give equal input to the team, just as what Reece James will be able to do. So we need somebody like that. I don't know much about Walker-Peters. I don't know. All I know is he's a very good attacking right back. Defensively, I don't know how strong he is. So I can't say much about him. But all I just want us, I hope and pray that it's high time Chelsea all our transfers or most of the transfers are right for us, because we bought players in the past that are not as good as we expected them to be. Like you said about Joao Felix coming in, he's only on loan and he will want to showcase himself, even though there is no buy clause in the contract. And the reason some people are saying is because they think Simeone will be leaving, so they don't know the next manager. The next manager might suit him. He might want to go back, and we might have a situation where we have the case of Courtois in our hands, where he falls in love with Chelsea, he falls in love with London, he wants to live here, he thinks it's good for him, and then he wants to stay. So it might be both ways. So, but it's just for him to come and showcase himself in the market, because he's actually in the market as he stands now. So he will know that coming to Chelsea is not as if they signed him permanently, he's only on loan. So I expect him to do well if our manager will be able to use him in his right position.
Yeah, just quickly, when I talk, I get the feedback from your end. Can you try and fix that? And quickly, one question I have for you. Do you think, again, I don't know if you already, again, alluded to that while you were talking, do you think there's still that possibility for us to get him on a permanent? I think there is. I think, if anything, I know there's an argument that Atletico wanted him, again, to sign that extension, to have the possibility, again, of him coming back to the club, because they know quite well that the issue there has always been Diego Simeone's negative approach to football. Do you think there's still that possibility to buy him on a permanent? I think if there may still be, but that is if he, at the end of the season, feels like this is the place for me, really. This is the place where I can express myself. And like Nini put it, he has an untapped potential. And that's in any way a lie. Because the way Diego Simeone approaches the game, he doesn't really have the freedom to express himself. He actually forced to defend, which you could say he has more yellow card than he has assists. So your thought, do you think it's still possible getting him, really?
Yeah, it's very possible that if I said it when I was talking earlier, I said if he falls in love with London or he falls in love with the club and he sees, oh, this is a place for me to be, there is every possibility that the club might want to get him. So it's just for him, he's showcasing his talent, like what he said, is untapped talent. Because Simeone, for whatever reason, Simeone tends to get all these players. I don't know how he does it. Thomas Lemar. Nobody thought Thomas Lemar would go to Atletico Madrid. They know the style of play. So I don't know how Simeone, what it says to them that makes them to choose Atletico Madrid. And they get there, they now discover it is not for me. So the same thing of Joao Felix. So if he thinks he falls in love with London, 6 months is a long time. His lifestyle could change. He loves the place. He's doing very, very well for us. The fans love him. He loves the fans. Things can change, but as it stands, he's not in our hands. He's in the hands of Joao Felix and then Atletico Madrid, because we don't have a buy option in his contract. So they have a situation where they can either request for more if he does well, or if he doesn't do well, then he goes back to them and then he becomes their player. So it's kind of a safe option for Chelsea to take, and I love the way we are doing this.
Yep. Again, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to Eddie in a bit. Just quickly, I will sort out something. Again, Felix is here on loan. Porro is an option to buy. I am not going to change everything for this comp. Again, a comp match and coach. I get it, but it's a risk. Eddie, just quickly, but I'll come down in a bit. Before I ask you that question, we're still on Felix. I wanted to ask you an important question, given what we're seeing in the media or in the news on social media, the relation, how the other one, cheated with the other one's girlfriend. How that's not going to be an issue in the dressing room. Like I said, I fear that may be an issue. There are other options to avoid that if, in fact, that incident that we're hearing took place. But that's, by the way, again, the media, brown envelopes, they want Poch, again, in now. The media are a virus. Yeah, they will always take a story and run with it. But if you ask me, would I, again, of the two managers, Poch or, again, or Graham Potter, to choose one, let me not say my option right now. Coach, again, you heard that Felix said that this is his dream. If he said that, that means a lot. Because how quickly, yeah, Eddie, can you find a way to, again, it looks like you have, again, you have something, you have YouTube on. It's irritating. Find a way to stop the feedback, please. I will come back to you in a bit. If he said that, to me, that means a lot. To me, again, he really wants to play for us, and I'd love to see that. And what, again, here's the thing. Yeah, he signed an extension. Again, see how quickly he did it. He wanted to join us. And if anything, he finds anything he doesn't like, he could say he signed that under pressure. That changes everything. And if he wants to stay, continue playing for us, that makes, again, us assigning him, again, easier. Plus, if we're being honest, 6 months, as much as, again, for Chelsea fans, again, feeling like it's a waste of money since we don't we don't have a buy option. 6 months is enough for him to help us turn things around, and then we'll be in a better position on the table by the end of the season. And he's not coming in to be, again, the sole solution to our problem. He's part of, again, a couple of players that I believe will still sign this window that will help us solve all the issues we have. If that means anything to you, this guy really wants to play for us. Let that sink in, first of all, before you start complaining about, again, oh, wow, it's just, again, there's no buy option. He's just going to be here for 6 months, and how much we're paying for him. With an eye on our English quota, especially if we let go one, Kai Walker-Peters is not a bad shout. Okay, trouble is, again, he won't have the ability to stretch Rhys James. That's where my problem lies. So maybe there are other English quotas. Again, Livramento, correct me if I'm wrong, is he injured? That's where the question we're going to ask. If he's available, I'll take him over Kai Walker-Peters. But that's, by the way, we have, again, I love this platform. Again, I just got to see this platform. Thank you. Glad you love it, brother. Again, enjoy yourself. We meet to increase level in derby against Manchester City. We meet or need. I'm not sure what you meant there. Let's see. Good day again, everyone. Again, someone, please explain to me why so many people join the stream but don't hit the like button. Some people are not participating in the chat. We have just 88 likes. We should have around 150 likes right now. But don't hit the like button. I'm just interested to know why. Because helping the stream grows. Helps yourself to get all the Chelsea news you want. So please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Please like and subscribe when you enter, as it helps the channel do better. Rhys, unfortunately, is too big and will always have problems. We will end up playing him inside, and again, Walker-Peters or whoever will end up owning the wide position. You think so? Maybe Rhys needs to go under the knife to correct the problem permanently, but I don't know if he's willing to do that. Media, again, linking every player with Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure about the Porro story. There's nothing, again, if we're that serious about it, we'd be hearing about our interest. And again, I'm not sure how serious we're about that. If anything, Molina is a player we've always talked about, not Porro really. But let's see, because some people are saying that Felix, a girlfriend. I don't want to. I'm well acquainted with that, but I don't want to talk about that. So Eddie, quickly, the question I want to ask you: do you think that would be an issue? Again, given the relationship stories we've heard, having those two players in the club already, again, whether we like it or not, new players are under some measure of pressure to perform. If that's the truth, what we're hearing is the truth. Don't you think it would create friction in the dressing room? And like I said, they will make friends and will eventually tell their friends the issue they have with the other player, because I'm sure the players also, again, they're hearing this story and will ask questions. So don't you think that will create, again, toxicity in the dressing room? Eddie, I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to cause friction. Yeah. So if there's anything, if there's truth in the story, I think we cannot afford to get both of them in the team. I don't think we can afford to get them in the club. So that's my take. It would definitely be, if it's as serious to get to the media and what we're reading about is true, obviously it's gone beyond a private issue among them. So if it's come out to the public, into the public space, then which means there is no way it won't cause friction. So for me, I don't think we should go for it.
Yeah, we have other options, other better options, actually. But one thing I must say clearly, some people say again, some people say that Porro is Marcos Alonso 2.0. No, I don't think so. I think he's better on the ball again than Marcos Alonso. He's quicker. Defensively, I'm not sure yet. I haven't done my research, but if in fact, again, to any measure, that story in question is true, it's a risk, really. But there are other options. Kai Walker-Peters, and a good option. I'll take him over, again, having two players in the room that will create any measure of friction. Already, we have too much problems in our hands to even risk that. But quickly, I will scroll to the very bottom, and apologies. I know there are some OGs here that I always like reading their comments, such as Glenn, such as Liam Lane, such as Wally Waldo. A lot of them, even Lucky Scene, and my friend Lola, who says we need this. This is you trying to sell a Barcelona player you don't want to us. And look at the emoji that you ended it with. Keep Dest. I don't think we want him. But I'd rather actually Dest over Kai Walker-Peters. But the difference is that Walker's already plays in the Premier League. Maybe that would be a better option. Peters is good, again, with a lot of experience, but we need a coach. Okay, if that's how you see it. Problem is our midfield. They are too old. We need younger players who can, again, put the shift in for 90 minutes. To me, it's not about the shift. There's more to it. Again, being able to, again, in the case of Jorginho, I don't want a situation where if he doesn't have a passing lane close by, that's it. We're done. Again, the ball will be taken from him. But it's more than just being, again, able to run 90 minutes. This is not a marathon. It's football. I need the intelligence. I need the vision. I need the ability to guard the ball. Just you see from Mykhailo B, again, when he was at Chelsea, you see from Matic how he gets the ball. You can't muscle him up the ball. Even if you're coming from behind, he still gets the ball very well. We don't get that from Jorginho. I think he's lost it he had it to a certain measure before, but I think he's lost it. But that's, by the way, let's see where we are. Ball shooting again there. Let the window end without a right back. No, I don't think that will happen. We're actually not halfway the market, actually, if we're being honest, but we're just impatient for, again, obvious reasons. It's lazy and convenient a team to assign 100% of the blame for Felix problems to Simone. If you see that, I'm not saying that's not all it, but I think he's a good player, and it can probably has some untapped potential in him, given, again, who he plays under. That's how I see it. That guy is playing Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, what are you referring? Can you elaborate? We will have to increase our speed against Manchester City and goals again. Quite a lot. I'm going to scroll past a few. So I'm going to come back to the panel and go straight to, Bobby is the next, to speak. Bobby, good afternoon. I know it's already afternoon there. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. The question I want to ask you is, again, let's start with where we are. Forget about Kai Walker-Peters. You've explained in the chat, and I've read that. So that, again, we keep it in line. Right now, we're talking about Felix. I want to ask you this, Bobby. You've heard that, whether it's nonsense or not, but let me just phrase it this way. What if it is the truth? Are you concerned it's going to create a problem if we sign Porro? But from what I'm seeing, again, about the news about Porro, sounds, again, to me, absolute nonsense. Nothing comes out that says we're putting a bid. We're talking with Porro's camp, or we're talking about Sporting CP. It's all again, Tottenham. If anything, what I'm seeing that it seems a bit serious, again, that we really want Denzel Dumfries. We're looking at Kai Walker-Peters. That's something that's more serious than about that. But if we're serious about Porro, and he has, again, that love triangle that he's had with our relationship triangle, if you prefer, with Felix and Felix's girlfriend, don't you think it's a risk to have them both in a team? And these are new players that will be making friends at the club. Talk to their friends on what they what happened. So, Bobby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. Just like you, I'm not sure of the real weight behind it. You know, everybody is using Chelsea for headlines because we're headline stuff, and they're selling their players. They use Chelsea for for pricing. So there's that element of that for sure. And you see, I'll come to something a bit later. You know, I get into Twitter conversations with some of the fan base, and it startles me how they don't really keep up with what's going on. You know, we've got people now. We've got Christopher Vival. We've got Paul Morgan Stanley, Win Stanley. These are the guys doing the deals. These are the experts. These guys have done it before, and they're here at Chelsea to do it again. They've just
you could say the structure is near excellent right now. Go ahead.
Well, you know, yeah, they've just
except for one more appointment.
Yeah, you know, they've just started cooking, so let them cook. You know, I keep getting people tweeting me, "Oh, Boehly's this, Boehly's that. I don't like Boehly. I don't trust Boehly." I'm like, listen, mate, Boehly has done the right thing as he could within the time scale he had. He's now put the right people there to do it. Just sit and wait and see what happens. Now, I would not see people keep judging current Chelsea by old Chelsea. I can't see a situation where, if indeed it is true that this is a problem, where experts like Vival and Win Stanley will go for it. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not really paying much attention to it at all. As you've said, there are other right backs, and we definitely need a right back. Chelsea is interesting because one thing that hasn't changed from the Roman era is that when there's all these rumors around, we now know that we can't control the rumors. So all these people saying Chelsea's talking too much, this noise doesn't come from Chelsea. And I wish they would stop pushing that narrative, yet again, attacking the club. It's not coming from the club. It's coming from externals. It's coming from the selling club mainly. It's coming from agents. And what Chelsea do is when they see that there is a particular noise about a player that they're not really looking at, that's when they move for the player that they are looking at. Joao Felix, we weren't anywhere in the picture, really. It was all talk of Man United and Arsenal. Suddenly he's coming to Chelsea. So, you know, this is how they're trying to operate. And I wouldn't be surprised because the need for a rotational right back is so important that they suddenly make a move for somebody that we haven't even heard of or we haven't thought of, or an old person that they may have been going for, Dumfries, maybe do something there. I don't know. But this guy, it could be true, but I have my doubts. I really do. I heard someone phone in earlier speak earlier about the fact that we need rotation. We need two players in every position, quality. And I am really, really hoping we've got this eye on Marcus Thuram. I hope that works because I believe we are going for that guy. It's one of those that you can't really hide.
Yeah, we'll talk. You know? We'll talk about that. It's complicated for obvious reasons.
Well, of course, but I think the midfield really, you know, we need somebody who can not only just rotate with a contract extended N'Golo Kante, which is important so he doesn't get flogged and forced to play game after game after game. But we also need somebody who could also play with him when needed. And that has to be a bit of a special midfielder. Physical, technically good. And, you know, you can see why they're taking their time to make that selection. Enzo would have been one of. I believe if we had got Enzo, it would have guaranteed that somebody else, apart from the one person we know of either Georgie or Kante, will be leaving the club. That's for sure. But the Enzo thing, I don't think it's over yet, personally. Forget all this.
No, it's not. It's a huge risk for Benfica, plus the player wants to leave. But go ahead, Bobby.
Benfica, I think, have a lot of problems now. You know, they have the whole match-fixing scandal, which is massive for them. And if they think they can get away with it, well, go and talk to Juventus and see what happened there. So I think they'll be.
All right. So just coming back quickly, Bobby, bringing you back again. We'll get to those topics you're mentioning. Again, I know you are at work, but now that I have you, your thoughts: should we risk getting the two players in again? Where again, what if in fact, if what we're seeing out there, if there's some measure of truth to it, to me, it's a risk. Do you think it's a risk having again Joao Felix and Porro in the same team, given the nonsense we're hearing? Because it's a risk.
What will Porro give us? That is, Joao Felix is alone, and I would like to talk at some point more about that, because
we will get to talking about him
being alone. I think that the fact that he's in our camp gives us a very big advantage if he's ripping up trees, because we'll be right in his ear, and that's why we kept people like Aspi and Thiago Silva. And we have a structure that will be very warm, friendly, and welcoming. And then if he's performing, that's where the fans come in. And that's where we show him that we are well behind him and worthy fans to play for. But let's wait and see what happens there. But Porro, I asked, what does he bring that makes it so irresistible that we would want to go down that road if there's a problem? If it's someone like Messi, then I would say broker a peace, broker a truce, talk to the geezer's wife, send the heavy mob to threaten her family. I don't know. That's a joke, by the way. But you know what I'm saying? Go all out to make sure that it's a platform with which it can happen. But if it's some geezer that, there are others there and better players, then it's a no-brainer. What's the point? Do you see what I'm saying? What's the point courting problems for no reason?
You're on
Can't hear
mute,
you.
Coach. Coach, you're on mute.
I've stunned him into muting himself. Right, Roger, how are you?
I'm alive, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Always a pleasure and a privilege to share a platform with you, Roger.
Likewise, Win Stanley, Morgan Stanley. I couldn't stop laughing on that.
you know what I'm saying? It's just that name. I don't know why. I always default to Morgan Stanley.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Again, sorry guys, my microphone went off again. A lot of moving pieces there. This is funny to me as much as it's funny.
Sorry,
I don't want to read it. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Coach. I'll be a few minutes. I've got a few minutes. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. No problem. Roger, do you want to comment on the risk? The risk of having them both. Roger, do you want to comment, or should we move on, because we have quite a lot lined up?
I would like to add something very briefly, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Of course you would. Bobby just got done speaking. Go ahead.
The one thing that scares me with today's, shall we say, squad, is that we do have Aspi and we do indeed have Thiago Silva, but I don't believe we have the leadership that we once did, the characters, the personalities, the alpha males, shall we say, like a JT, a Lampard, a Ballack. These were innate born leaders. Yeah, exactly.
Even Ivanovic.
Ivanovic, I love him.
With the pitch, yeah.
That they led by example, and they were the type that would pull you aside in the locker room and chew your ear off when necessary. No disrespect to Aspi and Silva, but we don't have that, shall we say, leadership quality in the locker room where we can pull them aside and say, listen, while you're in this building, while you play on our team, you put your personal differences aside. That I cannot see transpiring at all. I think on the field and off the field issues, we lack leadership. That's quite apparent in our production for the last few years.
So bringing it back to whether it's a risk or not, that's
it's a risk based on
that
we lack leadership, and it doesn't work.
That will help handle it.
Yes. Because with all due respect, they're young too, they're not exactly in their early to mid 30s, these players. How old is Joao? He's 23.
Joao is just 23.
Yeah, exactly. So no disrespect, but he's very young, and this would require people in the ilk of a JT, for example, to make sure that the SH1T didn't get out of hand. And I don't see that happening. The risk is too high to happen nowadays. So because of that lack of leadership. So yes, what does Porro bring? Is he a Messi? Is he a Pele? I don't believe he is in that
Is he worth the stress? No, he's not worth the stress.
Yeah, to warrant such a risk, to separate the potential, fragile relationships in the locker room. No, I think that would be an ill-advised move at best.
Yeah. Just quickly, let me catch up with a few things. I'm going to read a few stuff and then I will scroll to the very bottom. The chat is on fire, really, but I will try my best. We'll have to switch strictly to Joao Felix right now and talk about where he fits in the team. So, again, I just read Atleti extended Joao's contract until 2027. Lovely meal. There goes another 150 million on one player in the summer. I think, and also the concerning thing is that the player signed in a hurry without even paying again. But I think if he sees anything he doesn't like, he can say he was signed under pressure. It was out there. Again, he didn't. Again, I don't want to go there. Let him do well first. That's the priority. Again, to me, he's a player. 90, 100 million isn't too much. But let's let him do well for Sound. Yeah, I think we'll fix that. AD have fixed that. Felix should go to United, but pick Chelsea. Good luck to him. He will survive, my friend. One thing I noticed with the Joao Felix announcement, was that, again, he said, I am a player who likes the ball. Coming from a team like Atletico, which is a defensively set up team, it's interesting. And it was never his fault. Again, you could say he still has untapped potentials. Really, that's how good he is. And we all knew that even before he joined Atletico. I think he was from Benfica. We knew, why is he going to Atletico Madrid? And lo and behold, the issue is probably Diego Simeone's approach. But we'll get to that in a bit. It's Kami gives me again a hope he's open to joking on a permanent. Okay, I think I haven't watched the interview myself. So sorry guys, I'm gonna scroll past a few stuff here. Again, please give the nice guy a good mic. He's talking about AD. If I can, I wouldn't mind doing for AD. If Felix really wanted to join Chelsea on a permanent deal, he wouldn't have extended his contract. We don't know what was said to him. There's an argument, again, he did that because they promised him Simeone is leaving at the end of the season. That's already out there. So you're going to get another manager that's more progressive. Again, plays with a more progressive approach. You'd love it. Believe me, this is the manager we're looking for because he's that big of a player for the club to even tell him we're going to make these changes because of you. There's a chance he just did it to get more money if he ends up saying he wants to stay at Chelsea, because no matter what you have on that contract, if the player says, I want to stay at Chelsea, I don't want to come back, it changes everything. Then they have to negotiate. That's, by the way, or maybe find another buyer. But I think he ends up staying at Chelsea. But let's see. Let's get him to enjoy himself. Not the biggest fan of this Felix move, to be honest, but I wish him all the best. We need all the help we can get. Look, he's part of the collective signings. Again, we will make this January that will help us solve the problem. It's not about him. He's not the sole solution. Part of the solution, if that makes sense to you. The Counter-Strike guy. Oh, okay. Let's again. We have to score goals again. I'm not sure what that brother is talking about. So sorry, guys. I'm going to scroll to a very bottom. And apologies to the OGs here. TT played Reece at right back quite a few times, not because he wanted to surrender the attacking threat down the right. He was preserving the boy. He's going to have problems if he stays at that size. Wow. Okay, I'm not a doctor by any stretch of imagination.
Hey, Coach, can I just interject?
Yeah.
Please? Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Reece's latest injury was, for all intents and purposes, if you look at it, it wasn't a muscle strain. He hyperextended his knee, and you see that occur in many different sports. So that's what you call a freak injury. you know, and so the ramifications of that injury is, you know, you have certain tendons, you know, or ligaments, I should say, that are damaged or strained, however you want to term it medically. So this isn't something based on his size. This can happen to a small person or a very large person, regardless of their position. It's a fluke, in other words. So, but I get what he's saying because he is quite muscular. But in this instance, that doesn't apply, I believe. But then again, you know, I'm not medically trained.
Yeah, me, I'm not either. So, but yeah, again, the main argument is that it has nothing to do about his physique or anything, given what the incident that led to that particular injury. So I get it. Again, people, again, I will scroll to the very bottom. Apologies, I can't get everything in the chat. It's really on fire, but I'll try my best. People, if anything, should help you convince getting Porro. The last guy that did the thing with another player. Okay, no, Glenn, you should know better than that. I'm not gonna do that. And
Well,
look
I
at me
missed it.
taking my time reading it. That is condoning a wrong behavior. I'm not gonna do that. Look at it if you want to see it, but I'm really not gonna read that. That anymore. Good afternoon, Abu. I hope you're doing well. Let me see anything else here. Again, virtual Earth, again, we need a clear out. Yeah, but it's even
Just read
even
it.
as I'm not gonna do that, man.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
because I want to. If anything, I want to go to heaven, no matter what
Yeah,
I read on the
that's
day.
funny.
Yeah. Again, we need a clear out. Even if that's what you need, it has to be gradual. If you're drastic about it, you will get into serious trouble. Honestly, if we're being honest. Again, let's see what we have here. Again, I saw a funny statistic the other day. We have more signed players this season than we have wins. Yeah, unfortunately, people are so evil. They're gonna go dig such up. Felix is to blame for his form, as he knew that El Cholo wasn't gonna play tiki-taka. That man has less money than Everton and Aston Villa. These mid-table Premier League clubs would dwarf Atletico in bidding wars. Here's the thing, but they paid something north of 90 million euros for him. If they don't have the money, why sign him? That was the point. Everybody was asking.
They paid 120 plus million euros 3 years
Exactly.
ago.
So everybody was begging the question: why do they want Felix? Really, he's not the man for them. If we're being honest,
listen, they won the Liga 2 years ago, so he was a major part of that. So you know, you can't argue really.
Yeah, you can't argue that much. Just quickly, let me try and catch up with what we have in the chat. Hold on, this is a management structure that will not accommodate an elite manager. You think again, if Ferguson or Mourinho would let Vivell pick players for them? That is why Boehly needs that is why Boehly needed a yes man. I don't think really that's the case. There's more to the problem we're having than just that, if we're being honest. But Bobby, I get your frustration really, because you're my bro and I know you quite well. If they want Porro and Felix to clash, then we're not going to risk that. Like Bobby says, he's not like a Messi, it's not like a Ronaldo. It's not worth the stress. If it is a Messi, then you say, let's do it again and find a solution. Let them become friends again. There is okay, is that English? Lamptey wasn't sold. We received a training fee, not a transfer fee. Like we paid Exeter for Ampadu. Oh, I see. Okay, but again, at least if we need him, we'll have to sign him back. Numbers not right. Extended 1 year. Okay, is that what it was again? Simon Johnson tweets about what? Tell me. Bring him back from loan than spend so much in another player. Is 20 years old in a very bring who back from loan? Who exactly? Again, a fan. I am again a push goal shooting couch of my team. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop again. Reading some stuff. If you're watching, please again drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I know we've made it to 112 again likes, but we should be at least at 200 likes. Even if you're not in the chat, please do that for us. I appreciate that. quickly. Thank you for all the love you've shown the channel. Just 1 second, let me see. But before you again, Evan, I look at okay, I'm not going to get into that right now. Honestly, I'm moving from that. They did it for again amortization papers to help their books and of course maintain the players' value, but quite possible a gentleman's agreement has been struck between the two clubs. Just 1 second, guys. Again, I have something disturbing me here. Again, let's see what this one again. Yes, guys, please like in the stream. Keep liking the stream if you haven't. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. That goes a long way for the channel. Potter out. Okay, let's see what else I have here. Lamptey is not good enough for Chelsea. I'd rather Livramento, but that's by the way. Let's bring it back to Felix. Now again, Roger, let me ask you this: do you think there's still that possibility we'll buy him?
I'm disappointed that we don't have an option to buy in this loan. I really am.
But do you know how quickly we stopped again? He went from again. He's close to joining Arsenal to come into us. That could be a reason why we didn't have the time to do that. But go ahead.
Well, he chose us because he likes quote unquote the project that we've implemented. This speaks volumes, considering the fact that we are lying 10th. We are out of both domestic cups and Arsenal is at the top. So what does this tell you? This tells us that Chelsea still carries a lot of weight, which is quite surprising, actually, and pleasing, obviously, as a Chelsea fan. So this speaks volumes for us. And listen, I've watched him quite extensively, and I've seen quite a lot of highlights recently. If his game can translate into the physicality and the speed of the Premier League, he's going to be a huge addition to Chelsea. He really is. His first touch is sublime. He's
close control, dribbling ability. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and he's clinical, and especially in the air. If you look at his headering skills, he would probably be our best header of the ball that we have in Chelsea right now.
And he's not the tallest.
Yeah. No, that exactly. But have a look how he heads the ball. His technique is sublime. You know, it's very Bobby-esque. Are you awake, Bobby? But no, he's a very skillful player. You know, he brings a little bit of like Eden to the he has a little bit of attributes of so many players, and I think if he's utilized correctly and he stays healthy, I think this is one addition that I'm really pleased with the player that we have acquired. I really am. It's just the fact that we didn't have an option to buy in a clause.
That doesn't mean we cannot still get him.
No, I totally understand that, but it would have given us an advantage. You know, also he's motivated. He wants to show the world that he can play because he's very unhappy where he was. You know, so this is a very young, motivated individual with a lot of skill, and he showed that in the World Cup. This bodes well for Chelsea, potentially.
It does.
Yes,
it does. Again, he's an excellent signing for us. Whether he ends up not staying at Chelsea, I think he'll help us solve again the immediate issues we're having right now. I know a lot of people don't see that, but quickly, let me get my brother again. What's his name? Daniel. Thoughts on this again on the signing of Joao Felix. Dan, more importantly, I'd like to get from you. How do you think we get him to work at Chelsea? Because he has a preferred position. Where, or you can say there are certain positions I've watched him that I know this is actually his best position, not the other one. But your thoughts about the signing of Joao Felix and where do you think he fits in the project?
Can I say Happy New Year to you guys?
Sorry, again, pardon my bad manners. Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you for letting me join. It's been a while since I came on. Just quick word for you, Coach. I just want to say thank you very much for putting a lot of faith in me and got me on the show.
Look, you don't have to. You provide value too.
Yeah.
And I owe you a lot because I haven't appeared on your channel too. So yeah, you shouldn't be saying that. Go ahead.
No, you're my brother, and I just want to say thank you. If it weren't for you,
No worries.
yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today. I've just reached 109 subscribers last night. But
Mhm.
I'm just going to say all love to you, and thank you very much for putting faith in me to put
Much
on
love,
the
much
show.
love, much love.
Much love to you. Basically, like we was talking about Joe Felix last night. He's a baller. For the structure where Simeon is at Atletico Madrid,
Mhm.
he plays so deep, not attacking football. And what's gone on with between Felix and Simeon, he wasn't
Mhm.
happy at the club because as the way you see him in the Champions League in the game, he got subbed off and he weren't very happy, and they both have fallen out. And this kid, you see him. He's been with like for Atletico Madrid for 4 years at the club since the last time he was playing for Benfica. He was
Mhm.
outstanding player. Can it work at Chelsea? I think he can because we play a mostly attacking football and we need a creative in our football club. We haven't got the structural assembly of any players to who's skillful, who could create and pass. And this kid Felix, Joe Felix, it is wonderful. It's the best signing I think we've got so far because we've been all about getting Enzo Fernandez in. We're not sure we might be getting Enzo, so it's still on go. But this loan deal, people say, oh, it's only a 6 month loan deal to the end of the season. But when it comes to contracts, yeah, a lot of people sign contracts for football players, and if Joe Felix does well, we could actually try and put a bid in his player for that season. There might be quite a possible plan for next summer if he does well for us this end of this month, end of this season. Could we get him in for next summer? I think we could. I think it's a good structure for this player to show his ability, his comfort, and bring back his style, what he can do for a club because he likes to be an attacking player, not a defensive. And he has done a lot of assists for Greece, but and when he did with Luis Suarez when they were at Atletico Madrid. So I reckon it's a good signing, coach, and I'm really pleased because I've always wanted Joe Felix at Chelsea Football Club, and now we've got him. I hope he could actually do well for our club, mate.
Yeah, I hope so. And if you're in the chat, I want to get your thoughts. Where do you think Joao Felix fits in our current project? Or you can say 11. Where do you think, again, we'll get the best out of him? I don't know. You've watched his clips. I know you've followed him, not just his clips. I know you did see him at the World Cup too. Roger, your thoughts. What position do you think will better get the best out of him?
I'm going to actually go contrary to the popular belief and say, I think left side. I think front left.
You mean play him as a winger?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that wide. He can come in narrow. If you look at his heat maps and if you look at what he's done, even for Portugal and obviously Atleti, he has played predominantly on the left, and he's done well. If you look at his heat maps in certain games, he's played very well on the left. He in tight spaces by the touchline. He's amazing, coach. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. He can play as a second number 9 in like a number 10 position, a 4-2-3-1. I get that. I understand that. But he also has the flexibility to play out left, wide. So, and I think he would excel there. He really would, sir. That's just
I think he can play striker and all, Roger. He can play striker and he can play
sure.
as a
He can play as a second striker. Yeah, go ahead, Dan. You were saying, let Roger drop. Go ahead, Roger.
I'm sorry, Dan. Just one second, Dan. I think
no worries.
I have a serious suspicion that I think him and Kai could gel. Those two are very fluid and interchangeable. They're very similar. Obviously, their size is slightly different, but they're very interchangeable. And they could be a pleasant surprise together. I really do feel. I rate Kai. I know a lot of people are down on him lately because, just like everyone, they go out of form, But when on form, Kai is a sublime player. And with service and with the ability to play with another outstanding fluid player, that I think they would excel.
Yeah, I think they will. The question is, how do we accommodate them both? Because some people think, here's the thing, some people think if Felix comes in, that means Kai will always drop to the bench. I don't think that's the case. Felix can play as a second striker.
Exactly.
Felix, again, you can say at the moment, I think, given recent form, I think it would be better of doing with him as a 10 than Kai. Kai also can play as a second striker, but not as a lone striker. Both, that's what they have in common. But the difference is Felix is, you can say he has more vision in terms of passing range. Kai, again, as much as Kai, you can say his biggest thing is that he exploits the slightest of spaces he finds on the pitch. If you can find him, if you're paying attention to the way he plays. But I wouldn't say it's really not that simple.
They're interchangeable. As long as he's not
again, and if we continue playing with a fluid front three or front four, it still works for us either way. But who makes way? But go ahead with what you're saying. I'm trying to take care of something here quickly.
Yeah, coach. As long as he's not wearing goalkeeping gloves, I don't mind.
So again,
sorry,
it's not that simple, really.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's not that simple.
Coach, the thing is with Joe Felix, I think that where what you're saying about Havertz and him, I think they could adapt really very well on the pitch together. I think you're right, Roger, because we was talking about this last night. How Havertz has been in the confluence of in a bad form, and way he's playing. I think Joe Felix is. I think he's a bit older than Havertz. I think, I'm not sure, but I think
they're both the same age. But I'll check for you. Go ahead. But they're still in the same age bracket. Let me just put it down. Okay. But go ahead.
But I think because Joe Felix has got more experience being up front, and Kai Havertz ain't actually a striker. He don't play as a striker. So where this possibly could be in between the midfield at the Chelsea Football Club, I think Joe Felix could adapt Havertz to try and be as a striker and give him a bit of experience how to learn how to finish, because way you see Kai Havertz with his touch and his finishing as a striker, he can do it, but he don't do it as much what he does when he's a striker. So this could be possibly where Joe Felix comes in. He's got a lot of experience. We know he could play. Felix can play on the left. He can play as a 10. He can play as a centre forward. He can play as a striker, number 9. I think because Joe Felix has got much experience as a striker, he could probably help Kai Havertz to adapt more to improve his finishing as a striker. So
here's the thing. I think it was a boogeyman who talked about that briefly yesterday in the chat. Even he, during an interview, stated clearly he likes, again, prefers to play as a second striker, again inward as a 10, or as an 8. Put him on the flanks. I think we don't have midfielders so capable of creating clear-cut chances from the central area of the pitch. We don't have there's nobody in the team you tell me is a traditional cam, and I'll say, show me again. Let him play on the pitch. Let's see how well he executes that role. Felix is the guy. He has the vision. He did that for Portugal during the World Cup. He played central and he did quite well. You can see he has the vision. Now, can Potter trust him, or maybe just go ahead with what he's seen Diego Simeone do with him? Or maybe he prefers playing Mason Mount as a 10 and wouldn't want to give Felix a chance there as a 10. I don't know, but I think we should play him as a 10. We'll get the best out of him there. Since we don't have a cam, we don't have players who are capable of creating clear-cut chances from the central area, and we've suffered because of that. Because our chance creation, the chances we create are not diversified. They're very predictable because it's always from the flanks and on the carpet. So we move on to that. Roger, you want to add anything else to that?
No, I think we've covered it. You're right. He is a baller. It's simple as that. He's going to be a welcome addition to this team. I'm so happy, especially when you consider how, and I mean this politely, out of form Pulisic and Sterling has been, and I put that mildly. So it's definitely an upgrade, in my opinion.
It is. Just quickly, let me say something. If you're in the chat, if you use all caps, except if you're a mod, if you're in a mod and you do that, the machine that's policing the chat will delete your message. And if you repeat it again, it will ban you. It's not a human being, so you don't even try to start a fight with it. And it came so, again, quickly, you're a mod here and you're an OG. Set a good example. Set a good example so others don't try using caps. I know your message won't be deleted, but I'm banking on the mods to stop using caps so that, again, those that are not mods will not be using mods, because the machine that's policing the chat would delete that. Again, thank you for 128 likes. Let's shoot for 200 likes. We can actually get there given how many people we have watching. And plus, again, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, whether you're in the chat. No, you don't have to say sorry. I'm just, again, I don't know if that came across as no, I wasn't mad at you. I just need you to help me set a good example. I'm not mad at you, so don't say sorry, bro. You're an OG here, actually. You're ranked. So if you're watching, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, the likes do go a long way. Matty Cash, again, he's not a player I know that much. I have to say the truth. I can't just say, okay, maybe we should consider him, but maybe let me highlight it. If anybody on the panel knows him very well, they can come in and talk about him. Chelsea will buy him. Vivell isn't a stupid. There has to be some type of release clause. Maybe let's pay attention and see what happens. Let's push the 200 likes, people, says my brother Tobaho. Thank you so much. Come on, Felix is here. Hit the like button. Yes, if you're happy that Felix is here, keep liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Tobaho, okay, let me move on from that. If he can have the same impact as Mata did at Chelsea, it's a win. Even, again, he's more skilled than Mata is. Mata, you can say more of, again, you can say a recognized creator traditionally. He's not your winger. He's not the quickest. He's not the most physical. Everything, again, the predominant feature that defines Mata as a player is his vision and his passing range. Again, Felix has that. Plus, Felix is quicker. Felix, you could say, a bit more physical, really. Felix joined up because of, again, the project of Chelsea. Yeah, we heard that. Yeah, quickly. So good point there. And again, let's see. And again, reports said again that what made him decide. Yeah, I read that too, and that made me happy. I have a question for the panel. What is a Chelsea's project? Okay. Before we round up the Felix talk, Roger, you start this, and I know Bobby will have a lot to explain there. Yeah, because that's where a lot of people, that's what a lot of people struggle to understand. What is the project really?
Well, there's a date associated with it, and it's 2030. In other words,
do you think Felix will understand about the data?
No. But the Americans,
like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, go to him and say, Felix, we want you, and we've looked at our numbers, and it's
and we have thus extrapolated. No. So basically, the owners, in their wisdom, and the advisors have put together and identified very young players from, let's say, the ages of 19 to 21, where they have given them and targeted them with a 6+1. I believe the average there is a 7+1 contracts where they've just used a round number of 2030, the year 2030, where they want a, shall we say, how shall I put this? A subset of the team, the mainstay of the team, to be in their peak by a certain year date. So they have decided to build a team, and to build a team with youth, and have identified certain technical and players that are attributed to a certain style of play, where they can also accommodate it and add certain players with experience to add to that. So this is what their ethos is, and this is the project, so to speak. You know, this is a very vague way of saying it, and this is what they've identified going forward. So, and it's data driven, by the way, heavily data driven.
Yeah. Again, Tobaho, quickly, you're a mod. I don't know what the person said, but we don't tolerate there here. Again, you can't swear by someone's mom. No. You're a mod. If you want to handle it. You don't even need to tell me. You can ban the person from the channel. But if the person is a mod, I want to know who that is and why would they be saying such? It doesn't matter what the argument is about. Do not, again, talk about someone's family, please. again, I don't want to see that again in this channel, please. I know it's a community, but again, you're free to express yourself. But again, there's limits to what you say here, please. I don't want to see such behavior here. John, again, Chelsea need to deliver or a deliverer. I don't know. Thank you again. On behalf of the community, I apologize to you, Tobaho, but please deal with it. You are remote. You just take a decision. Don't even tell me. Chelsea do somewhat have a project. Believe it or not. Again, that's funny. Yeah. Here's the thing. If again, as much as I can't explain the structure of the project or what it really define the project for you, I can say from what I'm seeing, this again, you can say it's a project that's preparing the club to dominate for a while, preparing the club not to spend too much money on players in the near future. That makes sense. That's why I'm saying where I'm concerned is the immediate future, because I've come to see the project is all about buying young players, and also part of it is establishing satellite clubs or feeder clubs, if you prefer, where those players can go and develop without it counting like again as they're loaning players out. Because if you talk about loaning players out, there are limits to how many players you can loan out at the same time in a particular season. So that's all about it. That's all I know about the project. It's
we already have 20 players on loan currently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's about again not spending too much money, or again when signing players in the future, and also again building a team again that lasts for a long time, given the length of contract they're given to those players. Because football, again, the simplest thing to the simplest, but also the most difficult to do in football is keeping a crop of players together. But if you're able to ever achieve that, you'll have, again, a well-oiled machine, a team that plays as a unit, a team that, again, no matter how better you think the other team is, they find it difficult to play against that team in particular because they've been together for a while. That's what I'm learning from the length of contract they're giving those players. Plus, they avoid a situation where, a player again wanting to leave just after 2 years, and maybe they're firing all cylinders and all that. You're practically stuck here. I don't know what else to say about it, Coach. People around FC Barcelona are talking about a lot about the possible return of Auba. Now that you have Joao on loan and Atletico wants Memphis Depay, what do you know or what do you think about it? I saw something from my friends, Vince. Let me just address that one, and we'll finish about again we'll finish the Felix conversation by looking at his numbers. How many you look at versus how many assists he had.
Saying, you always do this. You tell me you're going to invite me to speak on a topic, then you go on.
Let me just answer this quickly. I apologize, Bobby. And like I said, you can always comment.
I stopped what I was doing just because of what you said, and I've been sitting here.
All right, go ahead. Come in with that. Come in with the project
definition. I don't even know what to say
anymore
because we've gone past the topic. So what did you?
And Bobby, remember, we haven't. We're still talking about the project. You can come in if you want to come in. Then I can answer her question later.
No,
you can come in. Somebody asked the question, what is the project?
I think everything has been said about the project. You know, the project is there to see based on the playing side of things, but there will always be an element of the project that they will not share with the public because of people like the person that's asked the question. They don't want it out there to be shot at and criticized before it's actually created. So some of the project you will see when it's happened, but everybody knows that their remit is based on the purchase of this on the conditions of the sale, new stadium, playing staff. That's the first part of the project for 10 years, and 2030 is the window period to achieve all this. That's why they're buying all these young players that people are criticizing them about, but they can't see what the method is. That's why they're putting other members into the board, the sporting directors, and so on. It's all part of the project. There are other elements to this project, other clubs, purchase of other clubs or involvement of other clubs across the world. But the details of all that, they will never discuss it. And I hope they never discuss it because from what I'm seeing, I don't think Chelsea fans themselves can be completely trusted. They will attack the ownership before they conclude their plans. And it's not worth going through all that. just for that. Look at how they're attacking them now because they're buying young players. It's crazy.
Yeah, again, Bobby, thank you so much for coming in. Like I said, don't wait for me. Sometimes it's easy to forget. I think there was a day I had AD again on the panel for around 20 to 30 minutes before we go, oh, he's there. But I had to go send him private message and apologize. It wasn't
It's
that. He
just
has,
that I'm
again, he can also.
multitasking. And when you call my name,
I
I
understand
stop
too.
what I'm doing to interject, and I'm waiting, and what I'm doing is waiting and waiting, and I'm in limbo. That's all. That's the only reason I spoke.
No, apologies. Purgatory is not your place, if you understand that word. Coach, again, I've read that one again. Here's my friend Vince. Was it? I think it was Vince asking a question. Anybody smarter than him? Help him understand why it is being rumored that again Aubameyang can only play for Barcelona if he has to go back to Spain. I don't know. So there's a chance if we decide to let him go. I know you guys will welcome again Barcelona. Would take him in a heartbeat, but probably they'll get him in a very cheaper. We paid 15. They'll probably be going for something like 6-7 million. But I'd rather we sell him to another club than Barcelona. Let's see what happens. Really, I think it would be a good deal, but I don't want Memphis Depay. He's never a serious footballer for me. That's why he hasn't reached the level at which again everybody thinks he'd reach. To me, he's more into fashion and design again and modeling and music than he's into football. If he start taking football seriously, believe me, he'd do better, really. But that's, by the way, again, thank you so much for that. I'm not sure I can read that language, Kante. And again, if you're one of the mods in the chat, please educate the newcomers. If you use more than 3 emojis, except if you're a mod, it deletes it, which means the mods to refrain from using more than 3 emojis because those that are not mods, they pay attention to what you do there. Of course, we won't pay for all, but and we cannot afford all his salary. So yeah, probably chances of him going back to Barcelona is very tight. Let's see. Mafabi Sula says again, Auba can leave. Again, no much value for him. But are we going to get another striker? I think he's still. There's a chance we may still need them because what's his name is still out. Amanda Broya is still out. So again, we don't want to become thinner and thinner again by just letting players go because they're underperforming. We'll have to get a replacement. Coach, again, hear me out again. 4-3-1-2. Okay, that's how many players in total? 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half. Marcus and Nkunku up top. Felix behind the 2. Okay, I have to see again a visual aspect again of what you're saying there to really think if you walk. But again, it sounds interesting, but I'll try that out myself. I want him to play as a 10. I do want him to play as a 10, really. But let's see what Graham Potter does with him. I'm going to scroll very down again to the very bottom. Quite a lot of contributions in the chat, and apologies in advance for skipping your contributions. And I saw my brothers Mykhailo saying something. Where do I find it? I really want to read it. He says, Coach, again, when are you breaking out their happy dance of a Joao Felix rival? Because I know you've heard me talk about him and how much I like him. I don't know. Maybe later we'll see. Here we see again. Please, excuse me, my throat still itches. Apologies. Please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, it helps the channel reach a wider audience. We want 36 likes. Let's try and get it to 200 likes as soon as possible. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. And PJ Artist Nice, I see you there, but unfortunately, I can't get everything. Isn't this a project Just Copam 2.0? I don't know. I'm a bit confused again, but I've explained the much I can. Hello, Coach. I'm back. Mordecai Ben, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Darren Chandler, also Felix is ruining his career at the club. Okay, this must be again a rival fan. No, you're welcome again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Apparently, Mason Mount is not happy about the Felix signing. Check online. Show me a video of Mason Mount saying that, then I'll believe it. So Potter just said again in his presser that he has no idea why Felix didn't work out at Atletico Madrid. If we don't understand that and still got the player, I cannot again anymore with these clowns. Here's the thing. He could mean it that again he has no idea why Diego Simeone wasn't able to get the best out of the player. That's how I see it. I get it. Again, I've gotten to understand how. Yeah, I've gotten to understand how Potter talks. But like I said before, he's not a good orator. he speaks in a manner where you can interpret again whatever he says from whatever angle that suits your narratives. To me, I think he could mean again. He means. Yeah, it comes down to interpretation, really. But again, some good speakers will phrase it in a way that you wouldn't say. Again, you wouldn't get the chance to even say it this way. But I get it. Maybe he needs a coach, a speaking coach, to train him. To me, I understand.
Speaker. He's just not inspiring. I don't think you should say he's not a good speaker. He's very well versed in the English language. Obviously, it's his mother's tongue. Having said that, he's simply not inspiring. I think that's a main criticism one can label him as.
Yeah, I think, again, for me, I want to go to heaven, so I'm careful how what I say about people. Here's the thing about this. If we're being honest, like I'm just gonna repeat it myself again. I think he means that again, he's so good, he should be doing better at Atletico Madrid. But maybe he's trying to avoid conflict between the coaches do talk between the two clubs. Maybe there's a way he would have said it, then it will clearly come out as if he's saying it was Diego Simeone's fault.
He's being
and that's
diplomatic,
not okay.
Coach.
Yeah, so he's trying to be diplomatic here. And to me, I would do the same. I wouldn't want to say anything that would sound like I'm blaming Diego Simeone, even though clearly it was his fault.
It's etiquette.
Exactly.
It's professional respect.
Yeah, so him saying again, he has no idea why that is the case. I think it makes sense. So Bobby, give him a bit of a slack. You know, I love you, bro. But be fair, because I really do want you to go to heaven, really. Mondays are numbered. That's why he isn't happy. I don't think so, really. He doesn't have to play in the 10th position. He hasn't been excellent there, really. If anything, he's only done better as one of the 2-8s. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens there. Just quickly, Chelsea are just throwing money at players. Okay, I'm not going to say that, really. Chandler, please, again, we need Zidane. No, I don't need Zidane. Zidane, like I said before, that crop of players he had then that he won the Champions League on 3 occasions with, believe me, I'd be their coach, sit on the bench, I'd be taking a nap, this start playing the game and win. The only work I have to do is select players. I'm being honest. I don't think Zidane would do well in the Premier League, or where you don't have a bunch of Galacticos assembled over the years. Had he stayed more, he'd be struggling with Real Madrid now. It takes somebody with, again, Carlo Ancelotti's pedigree in terms of, again, building a team, in terms of, again, handling, again, what he has to get to win the stuff he's winning with Madrid right now. I don't like Zidane, really. I liked him as a player, but I wouldn't take him as a coach at Chelsea Football Club. Felix is going back to Atletico Madrid. That's why he signed an extension until 2027, because someone is leaving end of the season. Let's see. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, Simeone, again, that's a theory too, and that may well be the case, but we don't know. Let's get to there first. Let that happen. Pick up everyone. My fellow countrymen has again finally signed for us. Vindo Joao Felix. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I don't know if this is correct. DJ Sav is British or Portuguese. Is that the correct way to say it? Or Portuguese, British? Either way. Roger, correct me.
Portuguese.
He could say Portuguese, but he's British. He's again. He lives predominantly in England, but again, I'm not sure. I think his parents are Portuguese. So yeah, but no matter. But that's, by the way, DJ. Again, congratulations to us, and I'm happy to have Joao Felix at Chelsea Football Club. So yeah, I'm happy to, bro. I hope you're doing well. Just quickly, again, I know if the press conference starts, I will be getting a lot of updates, and I have my update screen open. Again, Potter says again, we are waiting for confirmation on whether the registration for Felix got in before 12, so he can play versus Fulham. I wouldn't even be in a hurry to start him. Let him train with the team too, because if you rush him in, and if it wasn't again a good start, it is usually difficult to get back from it. A prime example was Fernando Torres. We were in a rush to start him especially because he was Liverpool. We're in a rush to start him, and he didn't start well. And believe me, he didn't recover from that. I know there are other reasons why people will bring up, but to me, psychologically, the fact that he had to start against Liverpool and didn't do well is a big problem. You need him to start well. So let him train with the team. Don't be in a rush to start him against Fulham. I think we're capable of beating Fulham if Potter does the right thing in terms of selection. Again, and not just pick the big names for the sake of it. Put much lipstick on as you want, coach. It will still be a pig. Oh my goodness, I get it. Okay. Again, Kishon, how are you doing, brother? I don't believe Potter is a motivator. It doesn't look like he's one, and that's a big problem. I hope that changes. That can change. You can learn to become one. All you need is a coach. There's literally professionals for everything you want to learn how to do on planet Earth right now. Again, self-improvement, or what's it called? There's a term for it. Havertz will find himself on the bench. I don't think so. Those are two different profile players. Again, but odds even, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Joseph, Graham Potter is a small coach. Okay. Pulisic out for a couple, from weeks to months. What's going on here? A few days ago, it was just he's going to be out for about 3 weeks. How does he turn to? How did it change to months?
Because
really?
he probably,
I'm
he
still
probably
seeing
hurt his. He probably hurt his nail tying up his shoelace. He's so bloody fragile.
Oh, that is seriously unbelievable. How did he go from weeks to months in a matter of 3 days?
Maybe they did a scan. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm still seeing some disgruntled, again, Chelsea fans on Felix signing. For us, again, at Chelsea, he would do well. I think he would do well, but don't be in a rush to introduce him, really. Zidane, again, coaches, again, Zidane coaches have players who are at their peak, again, live, again, France international squad, like, look at the French international squad. You could say that, bring Zidane or Enrique. I'd rather Enrique than Zidane, really. But let's see. If I'm not mistaken, that's following something else I don't remember. Chelsea has gotten Hazard in these guys. Joao Felix, he will do well at Chelsea. That is the most. Again, Ashuro, thank you for that comment. I like it. Ishaka, is that what is it? Yep. Ishahaku, James Ashuro, nice to see you here. Kimso have accessed why both cannot work at Chelsea. Really? Maybe I skipped it. Wait, Aubameyang want to leave? No. Again, I don't think he wants to leave. But if we're bringing in another striker, we may well decide to let him go because he hasn't worked at Chelsea. And being fair to him, again, it wasn't down to him. It has not. Again, how badly he's performed at Chelsea isn't down to him, really. For being honest, are you joking, Kuchila? We need all the help we can get right now. That is just the truth. We don't need to sell anybody. Okay, in terms of the coach, like I'm guessing you're saying you take Zidane over. Yeah, I get it. But I want to move on, really.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes, people. Felix will help us indeed. Again, I move on from that. Potter is a better. Okay. Yes, guys, please keep liking the stream. We're at 145 likes. Let's try to get it to again 200 likes as soon as possible. We can do that because we're moving at a great pace, and I like that. Zidane won't work because he doesn't do well coaching younger players. Aha, that's some clarity there. I haven't even thought about that. But tactically, I don't think it's the best, really. Silva is the leader of the dressing room. He is. And on the pitch, whenever he's on the pitch, we seem to struggle, even though he plays in the defense. Potter will have more control once we get rid of these players. I think, here's the thing. The truth is, yes, if we get rid of majority of the players and bring in new players, younger players, I think Potter would do better than he's done so far. But that is difficult, really, to do. It's not that simple. It's something that will take some time to implement. Kim's still not sure if Auba wants to leave, but there's, again, a huge interest in him from Spain and Italy. But the truth is they're saying he can only play in, again, for Barcelona. I'm not sure. Let me not go into that because I'm not really sure what the situation is, really. Sir Pulisic, Lego player. Again, I'm not surprised that you're phrasing it that way. Luis Enrique isn't that good at his record. Well, okay, let's see what happens. We need to take him to the weight room. Okay, you think that? And quickly, Zidane won't even look at Chelsea's way right now. Yeah, because he wants the situation, everything is ready to go. He doesn't want to risk, again, his pedigree or his record by coming to Chelsea, given the situation we are in. He's not that man to do it. I think Mourinho will come, but he'll tell you, look, nothing happens this year, probably next year, maybe the third year. But I don't see Zidane risking it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Be honest
Mhm.
here. Would you rather have right now, next week, Mourinho or Potter?
I'll take Mourinho.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen anything that tells me Potter is pragmatic, even an inch. I've seen that myself. I haven't seen anything that tells me he's capable of being pragmatic to help us get results.
You're officially off the fence.
I wouldn't even take Mourinho. I wouldn't even take Mourinho, guys.
That's you.
Sorry, coach.
Well, coach,
That's you,
give
Dan.
me, give me a reason why would you have Mourinho? I know what you say about Potter. I know what you say about Potter.
Let me say this.
Oh.
I'm taking Mourinho because he's more pragmatic than Potter will ever be. Potter maybe later in the future will become more pragmatic if you understand the importance of being one. Even Thomas Tuchel, I'd say he wasn't pragmatic enough for me. If he was pragmatic enough for me, we had no business going out of the Champions League the way we did against Real Madrid.
Sure.
We led a 3-0.
Yeah. No,
So he would have taken off Ruben Loftus-Cheek, changed the structure, and then again be ready to hit them on a counter. But that's not his thing. The German way is always score as many as you can. But it was a risk against an experienced manager such as Carlo Ancelotti. So I'm sensing that also, even against from Graham Potter, he's not pragmatic enough.
You know what though, coach? Mourinho 1.0, I would take. Mourinho 2.0 and 3.0, he seems to leave a team worse off than when he initially arrived. He's got a history as of late, the last 4 or 5 years, of him being too divisive in the locker room. And with the media, I think to a certain extent, not entirely, but to a certain extent, I think the game's passed him by in so many ways. But I understand where you're coming from, but I would take Mourinho 1.0, not the latest revision of him.
Really, Roger. Yeah, because don't forget, coach, Thomas Tuchel was a 7.5 last season, right?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to fight on this one. I'm gonna have to fight on this one for you because I respect you for ages, coach. I respect you for
I
ages.
get your argument, but something.
I'm gonna argue. I can see it. I can see it.
Roger, did you see what I have on the screen?
Ubi's an old man for 43 years. But the thing is,
here's the thing I want to say quickly. Joseph, your name is Joseph, and I'm sure whether you're Muslim or a Christian, you will all know heaven is real, and I know you want to make heaven. Please be nice. What is this?
43.
Over 33. He's 33, isn't he?
I know he intentionally added 10, if we're being honest. I'm going to move on from that one. So thank you guys again. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for 152 likes. Let's get it to 200 likes as soon as possible. We can actually do that before the show ends. We have quite a lot lined up, so I'm going to try catch up with the chat. I'll scroll to the very bottom. So we'll look at Joao Felix numbers and move to the next topic we have lined up. Again, a good laugh is always good, but just keep it civil. You're not accusing him of anything. It's still funny. It's still nothing bad. I like that. Esam, I've not been here for a while. I just remembered why. Again, get the dictionary, look up the words fans and supporters. Get the fuck out. This is... This kind of hurts to any person you're telling that. Let's see what we have. No, Kachila, I was talking about Felix playing against Fulham. No, I understood that. That's why I'm saying it's a risk. Roger, quickly, again, before we move on, your thoughts on Felix starting against Fulham. Isn't it a risk? Let him train. On paper, we can win Fulham if Potter does the selection quite well. Don't you think it would be a risk to start him against Fulham?
To say it's premature is an understatement. He should even play the next. I don't think he should even. So we have, what do we have? Fulham, then Palace, then Liverpool. I say let him start the Liverpool game. Maybe come on as a sub in Palace. It's too early. You have to go through several coaching sessions. You have to understand the philosophy. You have to immerse yourself, in the team and understand what they want from you and so forth. It's too premature within 24, 36 hours. Now, if you're needing an emergency as a goalkeeper, yeah, I get it. Do you understand? But not for an outfield player, no.
It's a risk now. There's something called a team chemistry and all that. You need that for him to do well. And if he doesn't have, again, a good understanding with the team already, boom, again,
You would only use him in case of an emergency, like if there's injuries. And let's say we're very thin. Let's say we're down to 14, 15 available people in the squad, Cobham aside. Then, yeah, maybe in an absolute worst case scenario, that's a possibility. But we're not in that scenario. So it doesn't apply.
Yeah, I get it. Again, we should actually be careful. I
think Joe Felix. If like I was saying, I know what you're saying, Woody. Yeah, because when they said they decided they were going to try and get him a game on Thursday for Fulham, I don't think he should play the full like first half. Let him come on the second half. If we're struggling for goals and we don't get a goal, why don't we just get him on in the second half between the 60th and 70th minute, so we can try and get a goal afterwards. So he just has like a 10, 20 minute in a game, so he gets his fitness and know how to work with the players. I think that would be the best thing to do, because you can see we're not scoring enough goals. We're like on what goal difference 1. That's like 1.0 in the league. That's just it's a terrible, shocking goal scoring. We're not like that. We've recently scored a lot higher goals since last season. So if we could possibly have Joe Felix in the second half, if we're desperate for a goal, bring him on there so he can try and create or get a goal for us in the Fulham and the Crystal Palace game before the Liverpool game. Then Liverpool game play him the full thing. So I think it's the best idea. I think Koulibaly, because like the thing of Koulibaly, that new centre back, it shocked me because I thought why did we not play him for Man City's game so he could get his minutes before like the Fulham game? Because this system could work with David Fofana. He got his minutes against Man City and he looked really good. But
not Koulibaly. You're talking about the
Badiashile centre back,
I think it's all the process. He has to play with the team first for a while. I think that's the process, but I think we're not that desperate at this point. And I think as much as I knew we're not prioritizing the league, I just hated how badly we played. Let's just move on from that. But that's, by the way, again, if you're watching, keep educating those in the chat. That. Again, don't use all caps. If you use all caps, again, it will delete your message and you're in serious trouble. Okay, let's see. Okay. My friend is giving me some information. I wish we were connected on Twitter, Lolo. So when something again is happening, you can when you send me updates, I'll quickly get it and do something with it. What is again? Mudryk probably will most likely go to Arsenal Football Club. Pulisic out for 2 months, starting for 2 weeks. Hospital FC. You could say that to Rojo, and I can't believe you're saying this. So I'm going to take a clip of this and save it. But that's, by the way, have you seen his record of Barcelona? He carried on from Pep in terms of winning La Liga and Champions League. You will never see any team in the world as good as that team. Even I can win the Champions League, but I'd say again, Luis Enrique over Zidane and over Potter. I'm sorry, I have to say that clearly right now, but I get it. But that's, by the way, again, if we get Enrique, I will support him. But again, I'm not sure how well he's going to do in the Premier League.
Coach, not only are you off the fence, you've jumped over other fences.
But I'm not on the bus yet.
Oh, no. I think you got 1 foot on the first step on that bus, Coach.
I'm not on the bus out yet.
Ride. Now you've got the money in your hand to pay for your ride, Coach. Come on.
Hey, Roger, leave Coach alone, bless him. He's trying his best. Come on, leave him alone.
Thank you. Let me catch up with the chat. Again, I will come back to the panel again. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to cover them all. Chelsea fans deserve credit for understanding FFP. They know that Felix could turn out to be an expensive stunt. There's a chance that's the case. Again, no denying that. I love Jose. Plus, there's also, again, a chance, 50-50, a chance they did that just to make sure he comes back, because Simone leaves again in the summer or at the end of the season. When you have the best front three in football history, it's not challenging. They have, again, serious midfield too. Again, you have to get the ball off of them before you even get the chance to attack them. Again, I have to go back to learn how they press then. Very strategic. No matter how good you are, you still struggled against them. Jose is a big coach. He is. Again, what about Mudryk? No, Mudryk more likely to join Arsenal. But if he comes to Chelsea, I'd be surprised. Enrique made many bad decisions in the World Cup. Yeah, again, you can say that. Look, it doesn't matter how many top talents were brought in to the team. As long as the manager doesn't know what he's doing, we will be wasting time and resources. We don't need a mid-table manager. Wow, that's some argument right there. This again, we're robbed against Madrid. We were robbed. Plus, again, but Tuchel, when he wasn't. Again, you can say as pragmatic enough. Change things up. We're 3-0 up. What else do you want? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as much as I loved and enjoyed watching him on that day, he was one of the reasons why we considered take him off again, play a natural defender in that. Mourinho will put a centre back in that left wing back position just to solidify things, and it works. Sometimes, again, yeah, be progressive, but sometimes change things, just win. More importantly, it doesn't have to be delicious, really. Sometimes if you're hungry, sometimes you just need food. It doesn't have to be delicious. Just download it. Roger, if I'm making any sort of sense by saying that.
No, I get it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go
Coach. I asked a question. I asked a question. I'll start for people in my chat. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you fill up a cookie jar, and less of the 2 cookie jars left, yeah, on the thing where we dropped so many cookie jars, and you say fulfill the food, what possibility would Potter could do if you've got 2 chances of 2 fitness in the club of players, and the rest of them of actually lacking of fitness? What would happen with the team? Because a full cookie jar is more health and strength to a pair 2 pairs of cookie bars in a jar. It's less health in it. So if it comes to the report, like Ian probably knows all these players are unfit, and you probably only have 2 fitness in a team, we're going to struggle, won't we? We're going to struggle. I just think Potter needs more time to adapt in the Premier League, and just let everyone be faithful.
Oh, he came from the French league, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Who you talking about, Potter?
I'm talking about Potter as a manager. Yeah, because if you see, like I was saying,
so you're saying Potter came? No, I'm just being sarcastic. Need more time to adapt to the Premier League, really. But go ahead, I'll let you drop.
Yeah. What I'm saying, coaches, right? If Potter's probably seen our players on the pitch, yeah, like this, like 4-11 squad, yeah. So I said to him, if there's a full jar of cookie bars in a jar, and you have less than 2 of the cookie jars, yeah, in a jar, well, the 2 people out the full cookies, yeah, could be out of lack of strength, fitness, but there's only 2 players could be fully fit in that jar, yeah. So I think Potter's realising there's only most 2 people are fit in the club, and the rest of them are unfully fit or injuries. So he must be struggling. That's why he's trying to get this depth in. And I think with Potter, we need to give the guy time and turn it around, because I think he can turn it around. But
here's the thing: I have to say this, Dan. I'm all for giving him time, at least to the end of the season. Let's see what happens. But just quickly, let's look again. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies, guys. Big up Kuchila, Dan, and the rest of you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Yes, guys, keep liking the stream. We're at 7,913 subscribers. We may well hit again 8,000 subscribers during again as the show goes on, or maybe again by the end of the day. And that makes again. Thank you guys for all the support. I appreciate that. We're now at 156 likes. We can get it to 200 likes as soon as possible, only if you want us to. But let's try and do that. Yes, again, like, good day again, everyone. The prince is here. I appreciate you listening, the prince. Yes, if you're a mod, stop using all caps so that those that are not mods will not use all caps, because if they do, the robot that is policing the chat will delete their message or even ban them. So be careful how you do that. Potter needs time to build heat again. What he wants again, yeah, let's give him to the end of the season, but he won't last to the end of the season if he's not able to turn around things, no matter how many players we have out. It's as simple as that. It's business for everybody involved. The club needs to be winning for brands to pay attention to the club and want to sponsor us. But that's, by the way, just give me 1 second. Here, what else we have? Please, again, people have no patience. I swear this club can never build something that the fans will have, again, patience for. Again, it's so you don't have to feel like that. Again, being a fan, that's what it takes to be a fan. Always question the club's decisions, support the club. Yeah, but again, there will always be doubted. There will always be division in the fan base in terms of, again, one faction. Again, for instance, again, there was a time people were calling for Thomas Tuchel to be fired, and things weren't as bad as it became at that point, actually. So it's just what it takes to be a fan. I'm used to it now.
Well, especially in this fan base, because of the fact, due to our previous ownership, where our turnover was so high in coaches, which precipitated the demand. So this is what the expectations are. We have to win yesterday. As simple as that. You know, back in my day, in Bobby's day, and Dan's day to a certain extent, it's simple as this. You know, we were getting relegated every other year. You know, times have changed.
Yeah, and on that, Roman, just quickly, I don't want us to dwell too much on this particular topic because we have less than 30 minutes, actually. Again, on the Roman, it gradually became the norm to hire fire managers.
No, it was
but go ahead, I'll let you drop. Yeah.
I don't even think gradually. I think it was after a year or two. It was simple as that. I think the last 15 out of the 19 years he was there, it was, listen, he's fired two Champions League winning coaches within weeks after them. You know, it's simple as that. He just fires them. He had no patience. And you know what? It was against the norm, but guess what? It was a winning formula, which other teams are still scratching their head about.
Even Roman did say in an interview that it worked. Yeah, somewhat it worked, and it did work. But the only thing we weren't able to achieve is, again, dominance, like dominate for a stretch of time. The success we had under Roman all came in patches. But I'll take it. Go ahead with what you were saying so we can move on to the next topic. Yeah.
So don't laugh at me, but I actually composed a spreadsheet where I put the timelines of every single silverware we've ever won from 1954 onwards. And
do you think I doubt that? You have a spreadsheet for the ages of the players, so I don't doubt this. Yeah. So go ahead.
And it's quite revealing. Actually, it's not as bad as you feel. It's for the last, I think, 12, 13 years, it's 2 out of every 3 years we win silverware. There's one exception where there's a 2-year absence or a 3-year absence. Other than that, it's win-win, no win, win-win, no win, win-win, no win. It goes on and on like this. So it's, listen, you ask any other club in Britain and they will bite your hand off if you ask them for that form of consistency. Does that make sense?
Sorry, guys. Coach, are we that Joao Felix, the player we're getting for Athletic Madrid? Is it true that the right back in Joao Felix are falling out? Because I heard that he's coming to Chelsea and all.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. More importantly,
I just read that. Read it up.
Yeah, just quickly, I want us to move on to this because we have a lot lined up. I don't think we will even actually get them all. I think I'll use the system again. No problem. And again, I'll talk about. Go ahead, Dan. What were you saying? Something?
I just that's why I quickly was asking you two a question about it because I've just heard the news. I was just reading it up. And apparently, the guy who we're trying to get for Athletic Madrid from Joao Felix, they had a falling out. That was just news to me. So I just wanted to ask if it was true.
So. No, I don't know. I don't know much about that. If anything, the biggest problem issue for Joao Felix has always been again, Diego Simone's negative approach to football, if that makes any sort of sense. Chanto took his name out the game. I think that was disrespectful. And I agree with you, it was disgusting. And it doesn't show your loyalty is with the club because you're not helping matters. Potter is a human being that affects him. And that gets into the head of the players because if the fans show they don't trust the manager, it will affect the players too. It will be difficult for it not to affect them because they're hearing the chant. They're recognizing the fans don't trust the manager. Then subconsciously, even if they don't want to, they will stop trusting him. Again, it's a disgusting behavior. Really. I don't know if there's some sort of union or some sort of group that talks with people. Again, maybe an emailing group that say, please stop this. It doesn't help matters. It only makes it worse, if anything. But that's, by the way, again, yeah, it's disgusting indeed, and I agree with you. Chelsea, again, it's a big club. We are, but the behavior of our fans sometimes can be concerning. Chelsea fans equal to instant gratitude. Wow, I love this one. I think this is the delicious comment of the day. If we're being honest here, Chelsea ain't a big club no more. Kim, so there you go. If you didn't say such thing, I'll ask you for your ID. Okay, yeah, you slug it out with him. I see. Just again, be civil about it. That's who Kim So in, and I understand. I'm used to it. He's just frustrated. Bro, again, I'm always negative about this coach. Okay. Maybe that will lead you to heaven. I don't know. I have 0% confidence no matter which player you give him. Again, he absolutely doesn't know what he's doing. Here's one thing. I've gone plus. I'm not sure. Again, I can't quite put the finger on what the problem is. To right now saying, I think these players aren't playing for him. I think they're not playing for him, which means he has to do an Arteta for him to start getting good performance out of this player, because the truth is we should be doing better than we're doing. Let's see again what that happens. Please, again, I want to ask our current players that can make a Chelsea team of first Mourinho. Anybody there? I think Mourinho would like Koulibaly. I think Mourinho would like Zakaria. I think, and Mourinho, pay attention, he likes to mix it up. It's not all muscle. I think Mourinho will like Ziyech because Ziyech has a good vision. He would take that and find a way. And Ziyech has actually improved physically and backtracking. Maybe that changed under Graham Potter because the demand from the manager has changed. I think Ziyech will make his team. I think Mount may still make his team because of the running. At the back, I don't think he'd really go with Cucurella. I think he'd go with Ben Chilwell. Rather, I think he'd keep James. James has that dirtiness he wants. Jorginho, no. Thiago Silva, Mourinho likes to keep experience too. I think he'd take him. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. Let's see. Joao Felix is a faithful guy. I hope so. Again, Pedro Porro has Joao. I'm not going to go into that. Again, we don't want that story in our dressing room. You have that good conversation with everything. Amadou Dawood, again, good afternoon to you too. So I'm going to move. Kachila, again, greetings to you and your listeners. Okay, Tumu, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. So you want us to, again, sheepishly support Potter? Nope. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. That's what I'm saying. What do I suggest? Support him. Because if he does well, Chelsea does well. If he doesn't do well, Chelsea again underperforms. Coach, possible return for Aubameyang. Is that really on fire? So I need to do a shot on that. I need to talk about that. Where again, let's see. Again, there will always be doubts again, but look, Arsenal, everyone has gotten on the side of Arteta. Yep. So I'm going to go to the very bottom. Let's do this. Let's move on. We have quite a lot lined up. Here's this one here. Quickly before I do that. This here says Graham Potter on Joao Felix. He's a nice addition, and I am really looking forward to. Just 1 second. And I am really looking forward to working with him. He's been training regularly and had a game time, so physically he can go in. Again, there's a little unknown with the adaptation period, which is why you don't rush him in. It can be again case by case. I see a confident player who can impose himself and make the difference in the final third. Would you, for the reason explained here, again, stardom? Roger, I'm asking you this one.
Are you asking me, is he justifying starting him? I'm not sure.
To a certain measure, yes, because him saying he's trained well and all that, it is case by case, which means it differs for every individual. Maybe just put him on the bench, and what you want the most from him is his ability to take on players and create something. Maybe that works. But again, would you start him given this area here? Let me just go to that particular tweet. Saying he's been training regularly and had game time. Had game time where at Atletico Madrid, not at Chelsea. So physically, he can go in there. Again, there's a little unknown, which is clear. The little unknown how well he plays with the individuals he's going to be lined up with. With the adaptation period, this is very important. It can be case by case, which means it differs for every individual. I see a confident player who can impose himself, make the difference in the final two. So maybe if he gets to start and he'll be banking on his ability to create something out of nothing because he's that player, do you think would you start him again for that, his ability of creating something out of nothing?
I wouldn't start him personally, but I can see perhaps Potter doing so, especially now that we know for a fact that Pulisic and Sterling won't be even on the bench. So he's thin up top. He's very thin. What are you going to do? I personally wouldn't. I bring him on as a sub if required. That's just me.
It's a huge risk, really. I know he's not under any sort of pressure, given that it's a loan. They are just 11 million euros plus his salary covered. It's not like we're paying him 19 million that you can say he's under pressure to measure up to how much we're paying for him. So, but just give him time. Mourinho hates inconsistency. Oh, yeah, he wouldn't even start 2 games in a row after that. When in question, in this last hours, FC Barcelona had consulted league about a possible salary reserve for Aubameyang. This must be produced whenever there's at least one exit. Wow! And before Barcelona they do this, they must have gotten a signal from Aubameyang, again signaling he'd be willing to go back. That makes sense. Okay. Oh gosh, why am I highlighting this? I think the next step will be to block that guy.
Barcelona to take him off us.
Yeah. Again, that's the truth. And please, if you're watching, please take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Again, when you are struggling like we are, and you have a player like Felix who can create things, if you want to keep your job, you would. This is from a perspective that makes sense, really. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, we need just 4.
Facts.
Yeah, that's facts, really. I think he was starting for that reason.
Well, Liam. I think he should start him because we like I say to you, coach. The thing with our constructor at our club, this. If you look here for me, this Mason Mount who's injured, like he's got an injury. Havertz is doing well, but there's no in the midfield, and there's no creative between into the box where you saw Fofana amount of times running against Man City in the FA Cup, when he came on. There was loads of spaces where Fofana was in where no one ever put the ball in. So if Joao Felix comes in that role for the games, he could create that and we could start getting goals. Because what's the point loaning the player? I see where people's coming from. What is the point loaning the player, paying 11 million on a loan deal on his player, and then paying his height like a bit of his wages to a Chelsea Football Club if we're just going to bench him? This guy's got talent. He's a baller. He's a much creative player. He's skillful, and he could hold the ball and all.
So you think he won't struggle? You think starting him isn't a risk?
No, it's not a risk. No, because he's not an injury prone. He's always fully fit. He plays every single time at Atletico Madrid. If he comes in, we need him to come in and adapt to our system and how to play, our style of play, and how to play with our football players. If we don't play Joao Felix as a footballer, we will struggle because he won't know what to do, because every single football club structure a style player totally different to every single game. Everyone has every coach have different tactics, different style and different performance. So we need to get Felix in this system where he could actually get used to our system and get used to how we play and how the players play. And if he can play, he'll build that strength in every single game, and he'll know what to do. So we need to have him honest. But like you say, we've got over 12 injuries in our squad now. Jorginho might be out now, and Kovacic might be out. So we haven't got a lot of things, and we need him on so we create. And I think he needs to get time to adapt to our system at the Chelsea Football Club. So for the end of the season, he knows what we're about and what the players do, and so he could play as a team play.
Yeah, just
So I
quickly,
don't
let me
think
catch
it
up
is
with
hopes.
what we have there. Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second here. Let me see just quickly what we have. Let's look at his numbers where some people are making fun of him. I think let's go from that one. Roger, were you going to say something? Okay, he wasn't. I think. Okay, let's look at his numbers. They're saying he has more yellow cards. Okay, more yellow cards than assists, than his assists. Again, let's start from 2019. That's what he when he newly joined them. In 27 games, he scored 6 goals, got 1 assist. Yep, more yellow cards. Again, the yellow cards this time measures the goals. 2021, 31 games, 7 goals, 5 assists, 6, more yellow cards. Okay, in 21, 22, 24 games, 8 goals and 4 assists, but the yellow card isn't more this time. And then again, 14 games in the current season, 4 goals, 3 assists, but 5 yellow cards. To me, here's the thing. I'm going to try to explain this again as much as I did before. This again shows he's not a defensively minded player. Defense isn't his thing. Plus, the way Diego Simeone approaches the game, he's probably trying hard to implement the manager's demand, and in the process, often resigns to pulling a player down or committing a foul just to be part of the process again to help the manager.
Overzealous, coach.
Yeah, exactly. Overzealous to show that he can also contribute defensively, which is something you see. As a Chelsea player, Juan Mata is the same. When he tries to defend, he always get carded or commits a foul in the wrong places and all that. So I'm not concerned. If anything, maybe you can see it from the perspective that he's a bit aggressive, really. But that's, by the way, I think I have the clad stuff from that one, and whether also he wants Felix to start against a form tomorrow. And that's tomorrow, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Okay. Says coach, that's 9 million for half a season plus 5 million in wages, and he wasn't exactly ripping up streets at the World Cup, but he did well. He did really well. I get your argument there. It's a bad idea to get Felix because he's not coming to stay. No, that doesn't make it a bad idea. If he doesn't come, our situation it could be worse at the end of the season. But with him, he's part of a larger planned solution. If that is hoping that the club have plans to sign all the players that will fix all the issues we have in the team. But Felix is just a part of you could say larger plan a block of solution if you want to phrase it that way. The Joao Felix number 11, it's a good number to have. Didier Drogba's number. Felix shouldn't start that much. I don't think he should. Big up everyone. Big up to you today. Nice to see you, brother. Aubameyang can go again. Tired of unhappy players. Yeah, I'm guessing you're saying this from when he was substituted after being subbed in. That's enough again to piss off a player. But again, I can say how badly he's done at Chelsea isn't again really down to him. But again, it's a man Declan. Big up to you, brother. You're happy. You're waiting for Declan to speak. Okay, bros. Again, this your guest that's speaking now. I just mentioned tactics. Do you believe this could? I'm not gonna talk about that. That's simply
Double
because
ouch, coach.
Yeah,
Double ouch.
That's because I want to go to heaven. And please, if you're in the chat, listen. Okay, I see. And if Lolo deletes your message, that means you said something. You're saying something that again. Yeah, you should watch what you say. And sorry, I didn't pay attention and I clicked on it because I wasn't saw what. Lolo, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, but if Lolo deletes your message, that means you said something really bad. You cannot use Atletico stats because the team was so different. Yep. Again, that's well said. So declare the floor is yours.
Big up, everyone. There was a
Big
party
up to you,
going on,
brother.
and I had to join.
Hola.
Oh, is that declared?
Say all that.
Always good
Is
to
that
have you.
Declared? Big up,
Hey, Dan.
Declared. Happy
Yeah,
New
that's
You
Year,
give
declared.
me,
my brother.
bro, Happy New Year, bro. You give me a link to your stream, Dan, and it's like early in the morning, bro. It was like 5 hours later. I
No,
tried to
I know
join
the
when you
time
messaged
difference.
me.
The time difference has
Yeah.
always been the issue, but always to have you whenever you have time, brother. Go ahead.
But it was like, oh, I'm about wake, and I click on it, and it goes, oh, in 5 hours. Like, I'm going to bed. Okay. I stayed up really late. I'm going to bed.
Sorry, Declared. I totally forget where you live. I always forget. I'm so
It's all
sorry.
right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
don't declare
actually,
because we don't
I'm
have too
actually
much
happy I'm
time. Yeah.
considered. You know what I mean, Dan? And yeah, I know you like to be organized, so I can understand what you did. But yeah, it kind of I tried at the time when you sent it. Just yeah, 5 hours.
No worries, no worries. There's always next time. There's always next time,
Yes.
Declared. Okay.
Mhm.
And
I'll
so
make sure I do it
going off
early this
topic.
time.
So I'm trying to figure out what exactly you guys are talking about, and it looks like Felix's stats. And I agree with Liam Lane how there's a reason why Felix wants out of the club, right?
Why are you giving Liam Lane credit?
Because
He
Liam Lane
was-
said
I was
Because credit.
because
It's got
before I
credit.
could talk, Liam Lane said that you can't use Atletico stats,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I
which
already
is
said
right.
that. Liam Lane just did the tapping, but of
But
course,
coach,
because he
but
praised you, he
coach,
said
coach.
hello to you. No, don't worry. Go ahead, Declare. Just go ahead.
Yeah, but coach, you didn't look at Benfica stats. You just looked at
let him drop.
Atletico
Let him
Madrid
drop.
stats.
Go ahead, Declare. Go
No,
ahead.
no, but
Sorry, apologies.
we don't need to look at stats. We all know that Felix was a really good talent, and that's the reason why 100 mil was spent on him, right? He's still only 23, right? We do know how we also do know how Simeone plays, and maybe it doesn't favor him, right? And people at this age,
It's funny.
especially,
Maybe
right?
he doesn't clearly, but go ahead.
Yeah, players are still developing and finding their way, right? We're not. This isn't a loan like how we got Falcao and Pato and Higuain and stuff like that, where these players were in their peak, amazing, and kind of lost their way. No, he's not even the full player yet, right? Now, the what's great about this deal, and I don't even think we needed Felix as well. It's not someone that was a big, a must-have for that position. But then again, we did lose Sterling and Pulisic as well. So maybe that's what made it more urgent, right?
Possibly,
And in
yeah.
terms of a great deal, we haven't paid money for him. We're getting to see if he doesn't play well, like everyone that doesn't want him is assuming, right? He goes back to Atletico Madrid. But the guy is coming here,
Sorry, guys.
right? Signing a new contract with Atletico, right? In order to get a higher transfer, right? The guy is going to play his heart out because he wants to leave. And it's not just for us. He's showcasing to every other club. Because if he does really well, yeah, and limited, right? Because the team's not playing well. But if he shines out of in a bad Chelsea performance and he keeps shining, right? Regardless how bad we play, right? Then even let's say we want to buy him, but another club might value him more, and it'll cause a bidding war, right? So the bad thing is that we don't have the first option to buy, right? But in terms of that, we get to see him at least, and he probably preferred Chelsea because he's already in the setup, right? As a first choice, but other clubs can still bid for him. So you're probably going to see the best of Felix, right, in these 6 months. But then, it's possible that whoever signs him or we sign him, he probably won't be as good, right? Just because this is the same mentality when someone wants a new contract and whatnot. So what I'm getting at is that if we got almost nothing to lose, it's a small fee, right, for someone that can fill in for 6 months, right, and then we know if we should spend big money on him or not, because he can turn into a really good player. He has that potential and talent, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just shined too soon and whatnot, and then we don't lose anything. I mean, I'll give you the same example. Let's say we did pay the 120 mil for Enzo, right? And let's say Enzo wasn't that player we thought he was. What you're stuck with is a high wage, right? Because you bought him in January and 120 mil, our record-breaking signing, and he hasn't turned out to be well. Because all Enzo has done it was that you saw in the World Cup in the Benfica, but still hasn't done it at a high level, right? So he could flop too, and he's about a similar age as Felix, right? And you didn't, and a lot of people didn't know Enzo before the World Cup, or before then. You knew about Felix when he was 18, 19, right? But no one knew about Enzo. So it's almost risk-free. We could buy people, and it could turn out just as bad as everyone's predicting Felix would be.
It's
Or every other signing
basically
we
an
got.
interview.
Yeah. And I mean, we're also taking into account that, I mean, how do you play under Potter? The guy's playing for himself. So people don't want to play for Potter, but Felix not going to come here and not play for, like, even if he doesn't play for Potter, he's still playing for himself. That's why I think that if there is a dressing room issue, Felix has his own motivations. So regardless if there's is a dropout in the dressing room, or you know, he doesn't want, no one wants to play, or whatever the reason is, Felix is going to come and he's playing. He has his self-motivated reason. So it might go against him because he might try to do too much to look good. He might not pass the ball and hog it and go for goal because he's trying to shine. But in the same case, that he might actually be like it won't be hard to shine in this bunch if you actually wanted to play. He scores a couple goals, he's going to look amazing. He gets a couple of assists, he dribbles nuts, whatever. Because everyone else is not playing well, and you know there could be a case that probably a strong case that maybe the dressing room was lost from a long time ago. There's a lot of factors happening at that club. So,
again,
like I said, he's going to be self-motivated.
What it is at this point.
Yeah, so I think it's a good deal, even for someone that I don't think we want. Yeah, I just think it's a great opportunity to see someone.
If he plays good for us this season, do you think he's worth 100 mil?
I don't think he'll go for 100 mil, but he could be like 80-ish, whatever. You know what? If he plays well, and I'm hoping we're talking about Felix well, right? Because we've seen Felix play well. For Felix to look okay in our team, that might still be a Felix, average. But we've seen Felix play really well, and if he kind of shows that us that he still has that, and like I said, this is the other thing, he can't be okay. He needs to do well because, like I said, he's got his own motivations. He's going to be playing his heart out because he wants to transfer, right? So this is probably the best you're going to see of him, right? It's like someone that plays for a contract. You see the best of them, and then once they get the contract, sometimes they drop off, right? That's why he has to do well, and if he does well, he's worth that money because he's only 23. And if he's done well, then you potentially have a player that can in a couple of years be. I was about to say world class, but not maybe world class. Be one of our best players.
Yeah, just quickly.
In a team where we're looking for that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were still speaking. Sorry.
I just said in a team where we're desperate for that at the moment.
Yeah, again, we can go for anything that we believe can help us do well, and hopefully the issue isn't beyond what the players we're getting. Hopefully, it doesn't have to do with a lot in the dressing room. That may well be a serious thing again that we cannot deal with. The dressing room was lost when TT left. Ask Bella Silva. Should know, possibly. She doesn't have her feelings. Atletico are playing UEFA Champions League next season, unlike Chelsea. Let's see what happens. It's not over yet. Quickly again, the loan signing of Joao Felix could also impact the future of Christian Pulisic. Not really. If we're letting any of them go, I'm not sure again if that would be the reason. Just quickly, I want us to talk about a few stuff here. Chelsea, Barca, and Inter Milan are all in the race to sign Marcus Thuram, who is a free agent, and the player himself, he said before, he'd take his time to consider his options because he knows a lot of other clubs are interested in securing his signature. So for us to get him to decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to Chelsea, we would have to pay him a lot more. Or even again, we have to pay again Borussia Mönchengladbach. Again, a lot of money this window. Probably it's not going to be too much, but a lot of money that again we're supposed to pay for a player who'd be living on a free in the summer. So, but let's see what happens here. Then we have the case of again Porro. again, Fabrizio Romano confirms the only club that, again, you can say actively speaking with Sporting CP is Tottenham, not us in any way. And Poyo, given the story we've heard, I don't want him at Chelsea, given that we have Felix. Toxicity in the dressing room can be very, again, detrimental to the performance of the team, and I don't want that to happen. This is something you already know. Jorginho is more likely now to leave the club. We already know that. Why? Again, the club, again, that's a chance. N'Golo Kante stays, and again, more chance he stays than leave. And we're also considering Caicedo. Caicedo is a player I want, and given that he's played with Graham Potter, I like that. Aubameyang, again, for his fitness for tomorrow's game, he will undergo a fitness test to see if he's ready for that game. So this is an update I want to take care of quickly, and there are all the stuff I want us to touch before we call it a day. I still have a bit of a time. Yeah, in the case of Gvardiol, it's always felt that Chelsea have an edge when it comes to completing the signing of Josko Gvardiol. But given right now that their status, their status isn't quite where it is before, that could now cost them. The possibility of Chelsea signing Gvardiol has gone down. He's openly said he likes Liverpool. Liverpool is his childhood club. Plus, again, Real Madrid have also tried something for him. I'm not sure the clarity, but it doesn't look like we're any more serious about him. The rumors out there are conflicting. The recent one from Fabrizio Romano says something to the effect of us, again, being interested, but the agreement was to us and his camp to talk in the summer again. So it doesn't look like we're going to get that player. Plus, we have Badiashile right now. I think we're loaded in the defensive area, correct me if I'm wrong. But if we can get him, fine. Then the Benfica coach on Enzo Fernandez, I think let's look at this together here. Again, I never dubbed his attitude, and personally, he's a great person. He's at Benfica and yada, yada, yada. He expects him to stay. There's something else I want us to see quickly is this one here. This celebration, this is just, he scored. He was hitting the badge and also pointed some, like, to me, what you will interpret to he's staying. But the truth remains, just let me make sure you're saying that. If we pay up, if we're able to come up with something sizable, even if it is, again, adding the player to the deal we're offering them, I think they take it. Because he's shown he's not really loyal to them. He's told them openly he wants to leave. The only thing he didn't do was put in a transfer request. To me, as much as this clearly means, again, showing love to the fans, and also to me that means he's staying. I don't know if you interpret it otherwise. But we can still get him, but it comes down to how much you're willing to pay. Declan, can you talk about that one quickly? We don't have too much time, but since you haven't been on the panel since we started, I'm giving you that. Go ahead. Are you there, Declan?
Yeah, sorry, I thought you we talking to someone else.
No, I clearly said your name, but go ahead.
I didn't hear it.
Okay,
sorry,
you want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, sorry, because I think my net kind of flagged a bit.
Okay, this is Enzo after he scored for Benfica in the last match he started.
Oh yeah, I've seen this video.
Fabrizio Romano just said again, he celebrates sending love to Benfica badge and fans after scoring. I think Fabrizio knows exactly what he's doing. He just don't want to come out. He feels like he's staying, like the manager say he's staying. But there are conflicting reports. Some people say we're still talking with his camp in Benfica, and despite again reports that there's an animosity between the two clubs, it's actually remained professional. This is just the manager saying whatever he wants to say regarding the player, because he wants to make sure the player is happy. They still have him. He's still got to play for. He's under contract at the club. So to me, I get it. It's easy to say he's telling them, again, I'm happy. I love you guys. But the truth remains, it's about the money. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he's made it clear that
declared everything all right.
That statement.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said he made it clear that staying in that video, right? Every story I hear about that sounds. I don't know. When it comes to Boehly, it seems everything seems questionable. There's obviously a way of doing business, right? And maybe Boehly and his team did it, almost something that's culturally maybe disrespectful, right? Because I felt what he did was like he felt he felt them out by giving the illusion that how do you put it? Yeah, we give the illusion that I'm gonna buy, and then when you sniff that they're willing to sell, that's when you start saying, "Oh, let's negotiate," right? And that's on a small scale.
No. Sorry, declared. Sorry, I have to 101,000,000% disagree with this narrative. This is brown envelope stuff. Brown
It's not brown
envelope
envelope. This
stuff.
is personal opinion.
We
We don't know what.
It's taken from brown envelopes. Listen,
Why?
Okay,
Has
so
it-
decline
these
drop
guys
so that
have-
Bobby can come in.
Yeah, basically, that was my only opinion on something that's happened, and
Okay.
and it's not just his interview; it's the coach's interview that came out and came out and said it too. And for Enzo to put out this message as well, that he's clearly I'm staying because there's obviously something there that's been shaken up, right? And obviously a deal that hasn't been done. You get what I'm saying? So either we've sold a promise that hasn't come through to the player, maybe to the club, and then we've backed out. I also thought that was too much, right? On one pay the release clause. I do agree that we shouldn't be paying that, and it should be negotiable. And I don't get why we're doing that business in January. That business should have been done for the next season. So if we're going to buy Enzo, we negotiate.
Desperation.
Yeah,
Desperation. We were seeking Yeah, here's the thing.
Yeah, it's a desperation window. So of course Benfica are going to go.
Problems we have. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying I've always called this the desperation window. I'm saying of course Benfica going to go. You pay the release clause. If we're desperate enough, we're going to pay for it because you're taking a player out of the season as well. So that's why I had that. This is my own narrative. I haven't read that before, but if Bobby's read it before, right? I get it. This is my only assumptions on what's happened and why. And this is a pattern from the off season, right? Of how many bad deals, right, that didn't go our way, and how messy it was, and how public it was, right? And I'm just building on the narrative that was in the transfer window at the start to now, because that was messy in the transfer window, and this looks messy as well. And this is something we never had under Abramovich in that, which I understand in that world, relationships are established, whatnot too. But I also did hear that Felix and Enzo do share the same agent, and maybe the Felix was a sweetener on to help this deal go across, and maybe it's still in negotiation. But when you see stuff like this, you think maybe it's not going to happen.
Yeah, again, stuff like this is easy to interpret. It's
Yeah,
not going to
it's
happen.
all
Money
it's all
talks.
interpretation.
And you just say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we signed Felix to make it work. It's open to interpretation, like you said. Just quickly, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we have about, again, less than 10 minutes around us. So I'm going to go to Bobby. Bobby, you cannot comment to what you were countering that the class was saying. I just wanted him to drop so he finishes his message. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is Chelsea demonization, isn't it? You know, they've been doing this methodically, systematically. You know, my brother Johnny comes out, you know, against it, all guns blazing, and I'm 100% with him. This is all wrong. You know, Chelsea bid for a player, they find a hole and demonize Chelsea. Chelsea don't bid for a player, they demonize Chelsea. Chelsea spend money, they demonize Chelsea, start racking up figures. Chelsea don't spend money, they demonize Chelsea. Chelsea sell the club in a fire sale after the government put the club in a precarious situation over some war, XYZ away. They demonize Chelsea. Everything the media, the brown envelope media, do is geared towards demonizing Chelsea. And what upsets me is when the fans take it up. Oh, Joao Felix, oh, Enzo. Yeah, listen, what do you expect? We've seen this. I spent a lot of time.
Bobby,
on
can
Twitter
you
last
connect
night.
your response to what Declan
I
said?
spent a lot of time on Twitter last night retweeting other players. Lukaku kissing the Chelsea badge and throwing himself on the floor. And then look at what he did. It is classic player stuff. What do you expect Enzo to do? He scored a goal. He's telling the fans, you know, I love you, I love you, I love you. Meanwhile, underneath all that could be, listen, you'll always have a place in my heart, even if I get out of here. and everybody's now taking it. Oh, Chelsea's done this, Chelsea's done that, Chelsea's insulted Benfica by offering them
Bobby, facts, Bobby.
85 million pounds. 85 million pounds.
Including we haven't seen yet for Bobby.
Dan, he's speaking.
Unrealistic. It was an unrealistic release clause. Negotiation.
Okay, Bobby, I want you again declare.
No, I won't stop unless I leave, because I've got to get to my point. The way this club is demonized and attacked by people.
No, but Bobby, did Declan demonize the club? That's what I want you to connect your response to what Declan said. That's what I'm saying.
When you absorb and represent a narrative that has been put towards demonizing the club, it almost amounts to the same thing. These people they don't mean any good for Chelsea. Chelsea have done nothing wrong. They approached a club who, by the way, is going to be in big trouble with their match fixing situation. And they approached the club. The club were talking about a release clause. And Chelsea said, look, we will discuss the release clause. But in the meantime, we'll bid this. And then it became, oh, you've insulted us because we didn't meet the release clause. You made us think that you're going to come and pay the release clause. Really? Come on, grow up. Grow up. How many times have we had people come after our players and offer money that was not acceptable? All we simply did was take it or leave it. All through the summer, we've had West Ham trying to pilfer Brozier. We've had people trying to take Levi Colwill. We've had people trying to take Cho, not to mention in the past with people like Diego Costa and excuse me, and Thibaut Courtois. Come on, that's football. That's this of football. But this vilification of Chelsea for anything they do that even smells like positivity, everybody's on their back. Listen, if Chelsea spend another 4.5 billion on players, hooray, let them do it. In fact, I wish they'll do it. Because the way people come after this club, I'm sick of it. I am sick.
Here's the thing, Bobby. Let me just say something quickly, please. I'm already past the time that I'm supposed to end because I have to take my son to school. I'm going to say this again. I understand where you're coming from. I understand your frustration. The vilification, no matter whatever you call it, if nobody talks about you, you're nobody. They have to talk about Chelsea because we're Chelsea, and it will only get worse if we start being successful again. It's as simple as that.
There are limits.
Here's the thing: you can't change it. That's the thing. You can't change it. So let's just move on from it. That's why we're Chelsea, and I don't have too much time. I wish we'd continue now, but we cannot. Again, I have to go help my son prepare for school, and maybe we have to talk about the Enzo show, and everybody can come with this. Here's the thing: kudos to Bobby, Johnny. He's built his brand around fighting those he believes are brown envelopes or those who try to say whatever they like about Chelsea. Good for him. And again, I like listening to him whenever I have time. But again, we are all entitled to our opinions, and that can never change. And as long as Chelsea, no disrespect, isn't Fulham, Chelsea isn't West Ham United, Chelsea isn't Aston Villa, that vilification, that thing you call vilification, it will continue. So again, I think, yeah. So with that, again, we've come to the end of the show. Unfortunately, I don't want my son to go to school late. We started 30 minutes earlier. If not, we'll have enough time to talk about everything we have to talk. But to me, the final thing I want to ask for Enzo, it could still happen. This is Joao Felix is already following Chelsea. That was yesterday. Aubameyang could still leave. Chelsea have been unable to get an option to buy in Joao Felix's deal. We know about that. Again, Joao Felix, welcome to Chelsea Football Club. And with that, I want to say thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to Bobby Fairview. And here from Liam, Bobby, just because someone says something you don't agree with, don't mean they need the press to talk for them. We speak our opinions. We're all entitled to opinions, and I totally understand Bobby's
the same demonizing
and don't need any brown envelopes to tell us what to do. We're all entitled to opinions. Damned again if they don't. I get that. Boehly continues to disgrace our club with ham-handed approach. Okay. I'm just going to call it a day. Thank you to Liam Lane, everyone else in the chat, everyone on the panel. I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, I'm already late. Apologies for that. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Yeah, everyone.
you.